is more to come. I go speak into the future, the things that are not, as though that I say more are on their way. I wish I had a couple people who had the faith the size of a mustard seed who would simply join me in saying, more is on the way.
At Rusty Bethel Drive, I'm Paiswell Forbes. This is ZNS.
It's What's Trending with Jiminita Swain and the Bahama Beauty. At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas from Studio A. It all starts right now.
Hello and welcome everyone. It's Monday, March 10th, and you're tuned into the ultimate destination for all things lifestyle, entertainment, and everything in between. I'm Jiminita Swain, and you're watching What's Trending, the show where we bring you the latest trends, hottest news, and insider tips on living your best life. Whether you're here for fashion, food, fitness, or the latest buzz on social media, we've got you covered. Let's dive in. Canada has a new prime minister set to be sworn in, and he has his sights set on winning the trade war against United States President Donald Trump. Mark Carney won in a landslide victory over Justin Trudeau for leadership of Canada's Liberal Party. Carney is expected to be sworn in as prime minister in the coming days and vows retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods until, quote, Americans show us some respect. Well, today, March 10th, is observed by the United Nations as the International Day of Women Judges. Despite women's increased engagement in public life, they remain significantly underrepresented in decision-making positions. In fact, a relatively large number of women have been or are part of the judiciary, particularly at senior judicial leadership positions. Women's representatives in the judiciary is key to ensuring that courts represent their citizens, address their concerns, and hand down sound judgments. By their mere presence, women judges enhance the legitimacy of courts, sending a powerful signal that they are open and accessible to those who seek recourse to justice. Well, today is also Mario Day. It's celebrating the iconic video game character Mario from Nintendo. Some say the day, March 10, resembles the name Mario, which many say makes it a fitting tribute. Fans celebrate by playing Mario games, sharing Mario-themed content on social media, and participating in special events or sales related to the franchise. The day gained popularity over time thanks to Nintendo's marketing and the global love for Mario adventures. Well, we have a jam-packed show for you today. If you're looking to deepen your faith and focus on spiritual renewal, you won't want to miss these guests. Also, the Bahamas Bridal Show is coming up on March 23rd, and we are going to sit down with some representatives to give us a sneak peek on what we can expect. And the Bahama Beauty is in studio, and you know what she has, the latest coupon. This and more after the break. You're watching What's Trending.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today. After participating in the Downtown Nassau Mural Project, local artist Randia Coakley told us about her experience with creating vibrant cultural artwork that both Bahamians and visitors alike can enjoy.
So the inspiration started off with the concept I wanted to have a realistic tree and have branches growing from it. And then when we saw the building, it's quite big, so went and started coming up with a concept of what the under the big tree represents. And it's playtime as Bahamian kids. So what we did, our parents did, our grandparents did, so all activities. So if you you look at different scenes, you'll see parking, you may see Plata de Maple, and so forth. And it was fun because I got some friends together to help in different aspects. And what we did is, I would say the material is about over a dozen different shades of color, because the main aspect was to be bright, colorful, cultural, community, and flora. That was the aspects I wanted to bring in it. So you can see we added some more plants, we added some signs just to help beautify the spot a little bit more and make people want to come and take a photo. So the best part is the feedback. So if you stay here for like 5 minutes, you're going to run into tourists taking photos here. So a lot of them love the color, they love seeing the artwork, and because where the art is located is down the street from the rum cake factory, so you have a lot of foot traffic that pass to go to the rum cake factory, so a lot of people stop and take photos, so they love it. They love the colors, and what we're doing is we add the plaque so it can describe what the scenes are, so persons who aren't a Bahamian will know, okay, I see this is a ball, this is a game, I see this is platinum maple, this is a cultural aspect of Bahamian culture, so that this is just the beginning, and I can't wait for us to have more murals, more taking over the streets of Bay Street to make it captivating, more persons to take photos, more. It's going to be lively, because I think the more we beautify downtown Nassau, the more people want to actually be down here.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
As the much-anticipated Revival Fire is in full swing, which started last night and continues tonight at 7 p.m. and tomorrow, excitement is building within the community. With a focus on spiritual renewal and deepening faith, this year's Revival offers attendees a powerful experience of worship, inspiring messages, and transformative prayer. Organizers, speakers, worship leaders, and participants are fired up for the event designed to spark lasting change both individually and collectively. In studio, we have Adam Lowry, lead pastor from Truth Church in Mississippi, and Clinton Minnis, pastor and president of the Marriage and Family League, to discuss what attendees can expect during the remaining 2 days of this life-changing experience. Welcome, gentlemen, to What's Trending.
Thank you so much.
Good to be here.
Good to have you. So, Adam, can you tell us about the vision behind the Revival Fire and what makes this revival unique?
6 years ago, we had the opportunity, my wife and I, to visit Nassau for the first time. Captivated by the beauty and the crystal clear water, we realized real quick that this was filled with a bunch of individuals that loved God and that wanted to grow in His presence. And we left, we went back home, but I never could shake the feeling that I had, that I experienced when I came here. And 6 years later, the Lord just opened up this opportunity for us to come and host a revival, trying to be a blessing in any way that we can to whomever will show up.
That sounds good. So how does the Revival Fire aim to reach both local, or rather long-time churchgoers, and those new to the faith?
We believe that if you have breath left in your lungs, that you have an opportunity to receive what God has for you, whether you've been in church all your life or whether you're a new convert. I believe that we often think that we have to achieve some level of greatness before we can receive of the Lord, but that's not how it works. He wants us to come as we are, and I believe that that is good for the seasoned Christian or the brand new convert, because we're all sinners saved by grace.
That is true. That's the most important part. So tell us why, talk about the worship activities during this 3-day revival. What persons can expect? You said it was a powerful night last night. It continues tonight. What can persons expect?
Well, the Lord has blessed us to unite with 3 local pastors, with 3 local churches. Pastor Robin Strawn of Good News was last night. Pastor Richard Hanna of New Way Native Baptist Church is tonight, and then Pastor Stephen Ferguson of Judea Baptist is tomorrow night. So what's beautiful is they are opening up with their own Bahamian enriched gospel that we get a chance to listen to as they open up in prayer and other things. And then we then step up, my wife and my 3 children, we all sing and I play, and then we get to offer them the opportunity to hear us sing the gospel. The same message, the same Jesus, but with a different flavor, a different flair, and we all like spice. And so then after that, then I share a word, and then we have prayer, and it's that simple. Just offering them Jesus in a simplistic way.
And what do you enjoy most about this experience? Like you said, this for you is your second time with your wife. But what do you enjoy about this? We heard from the late Pastor Miles Monroe, who said God lives in the Bahamas. This is the place where God lives. I guess you got a touch of that when you were here 60 years ago.
Yes.
But what does this do for you in your ministry?
So what I gather the most, what I look forward to the most, is doing it with my family. I believe that a man cannot be a good pastor if he's not a good husband. I believe that he can't be a good minister if he's not a good dad. I believe everything starts with looking within oneself first. And so for me to bring my wife and my 3 children here and for us to do it together collectively, I believe that this is going to be long-lasting memories that they'll be able to cherish when I'm old and gray and unable to move around like I am now, that they can pass down to their children. Because I've seen too many ministers who mean well and yet they miss the family because they're trying to raise the church. And what a pastor has to do is incredibly difficult. It's easy, I mentioned this last night, it's easy to sit in the congregation and to judge what happens on the stage. Just like it's easy to sit in the athletic complex and judge what the coach should have done or the team. But it's tough when you get up there and do it. I really, really thank the Lord for grounding me. And I tell my wife, I tell my children, it's Jesus, then my family, and then ministry. See, if I miss the middle part, it's like a sandwich with no meat in it. It makes no sense. But I have to have that part, and that's what makes us unique, is that we do it together. My wife could stand right here and she could preach it just like me.
Yeah.
My daughter could get and play the piano just like me. They all sing, they all play. None of us are perfect, but we do it together.
And that's important.
Yes, ma'am.
That's great. So just, you mentioned where the revivals are going to be, but talk to us, Pastor Minnis, about the marriage aspect of it. Obviously, that's, you know, a key element. He started it just now in terms of the bond of marriage, but talk to us a little bit about that.
And thank you, Jim Anita. It's wonderful to be here on What's Trending. We got together and we formed a Marriage and Family League because we believe marriage and families are interconnected as it relates to what he said earlier. How does it influence the work and the ministry of the church? And so through that relationship and connection, Pastor Strawn was connected to Pastor Lowry, and we agreed that we will help to facilitate this move of God through the Marriage and Family League. And so I am excited about the fact that a family that is fully functional, God has sent here to start a revival fire. We saw people who were ministered to, young men slain in the spirit, young ladies brought their children, and older ladies, pastors were actualized to move and to pray under the leading of the Lowrys.
And just remind us, because people want to know where the revival is taking place if they want to participate. It sounds very exciting, so obviously you want persons to come by.
Yes, and tonight we're going to be at the New Age Native Baptist Church, Charles Vincent Street and Balfour Avenue, next to E.P. Roberts Primary School.
Okay.
And 7 p.m. tonight. On tomorrow night, Tuesday night, at Judea Baptist Church, next to the National Workers Credit Union on Tony Williams Darlan Highway. And Dr. Stephen Ferguson is the pastor. And we want people to come prayed up, but come early. Because the crowd started to move last night. Come early. And so we want to be a blessing to our country.
Well, we definitely appreciate that, and we appreciate both of you for joining us on What's Trending today, and I'm sure the other 2 nights will be as fantastic as the first night.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, What's Trending will be back in the next phase. We have representatives from the bridal show in studio to discuss what they can expect from this year's bridal showcase. That and so much more right after the break. Stay with us.
diet-friendly special.
Hi, I'm Brent Burrows, Vice President of Retail and Sales at CBS Bahamas and the CBS Pro Store. Not only do we guarantee the best prices on all your favorite building materials, but we're proud to offer the best delivery program in all of Nassau. Whether you buy one box of screws or a truckload of plywood, island-wide delivery is just $5. And for our Family Island customers, we're proud to offer complimentary drop-off to the mailboat of your choice. Visit us today at the CBS Pro Store on Robinson Road and check out our website to set up your next delivery.
As brides and grooms-to-be prepare for their dream wedding, the Bahamas Bridal Show provides the perfect opportunity to discover the latest trends, connect with top wedding vendors, and explore the best of what the Bahamas has to offer. Taking place this year on Sunday, March 23rd at 2 p.m., the show promises to be a spectacular event, bringing together local businesses, bridal fashion designers, wedding planners, and so much more. In studio, we have Nicole Henderson-Smith, who will be the mistress of ceremonies for the event, and fashion show choreographer and model Stephen Robinson to dive into the excitement building around this celebrated wedding showcase where love and local talent come together in perfect harmony. Welcome to the show, Nicole and Stephen.
Thank you so much for having us.
Now tell us, Nicole, I'll start with you. What makes the Bahamas Bridal Show so unique when compared with other bridal shows in the region?
Well, besides the fact that we've been doing this for 30 plus years, we are the social event of the year. We have under our roof everything that you need for any social gathering, be it food, be it travel, be it design, decor. We have all of that, and we always top it up with the best, the most spectacular fashion show there is. And so that is what makes us the perfect place to be on Sunday, March 23rd.
Now we know, Stephen, a lot of people often talk about the bridal show, the runway, the showcase, everything that's a part of it. So what can attendees expect to see and experience at this year's bridal show?
Well, you know, over the years, the show has grown from just being a bridal show to, as Nicole mentioned, the premier event in the Bahamas. We have stood the test of time. I can remember we started out during the Ebony Fashion Show era. So we are still here. And this year is going to be filled with a lot of excitement because we have invited some of our veteran models back this year. So it's more of a reunion show. We are going to recreate some of those memorable scenes from previous shows, and we're going to revisit those and revamp it a little bit. But apart from the stage show, we do have quite a bit of vendors. So it's not just the stage presentation. Folks who come to the show can look forward to winning up to some $30,000 worth in prizes. And we're also going to give away 3 honeymoons.
Oh, that's really great.
So that's what makes us different.
You can't beat that, eh?
No.
So, Nicole, how do you select the vendors and exhibitors that attend this event?
Well, first of all, they're twofold. One, our vendors come looking for us.
Yes.
Because they realize that we have persons who are serious about events, they're serious about getting married, and so a lot of our vendors, they come looking for us because they know that people are going to be there searching. Second, we look for them because we look at people who we feel as if need to be there. And so if as a vendor, there's still time. If you'd like to participate, we definitely will welcome you. You have anywhere from about probably 1,000 couples probably that come out that want to experience something spectacular. We have discounts and huge savings just for that day alone. So if you sign up with a vendor there's so many things that they can offer. And we have everything. Like I said, it's not just bridal. I have to stress that. If you're planning a party or a renewal or even a baby christening, we have everything there, from photographers to persons that deal with food and beverage. We also have decor. So there's so many things there. We even have banks there because, of course, starting a marriage, you're going to need your mortgage, you're going to need to know how to save. And so we have people there to talk to you about certain things. So, and all of that happens under one roof.
So that was going to lead us into my next question, which focuses on how do you make it a one-stop shop. So obviously planning and organizing, the logistics of that element is key.
That's right, it is key. And for somebody who you come there and you don't know where to start, we even have someone there to help you plan. If you are registering as a bride, you can pre-register at bahamasevents.net, or you can come there on the day of and register, and you can be eligible to win, like Stephen said, over $30,000 worth in prizes and stuff to go towards your actual event.
And so please remind our viewers again when and where this event is going to be.
Okay, March 23rd, it's going to be held at the Grand Hyatt Ballroom at Bahamar. Tickets are $75. It's an entire day. It starts at 2 p.m. and we have been known to start on time. Please come, walk around, talk to vendors. Tickets can be purchased at either Lynx Courier or also, and that's located at the Airport Industrial Park. Yes, and also you can call 421-9783. You can also arrange to do, speak to them via WhatsApp. You can arrange an online payment as well. That's a great way of so you don't have to come out of the office or come out of your home. And we can also have those tickets there available for you once you purchase.
You're all set.
You are all set.
But thank you so much, Nicole and Stephen, for being here with us today, and all the best on the bridal show that's coming up soon.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Well, stay tuned. The Bahama Beauty is in studio to bring us the latest buzz on social media on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been living in Nassau Village for more than 19 years, and to see a project like this bring great joy and pride to me.
This state-of-the-art multi-purpose community center will serve as a crime-fighting initiative in the community. Also help with the education of our kids in this community and a hurricane shelter.
Yeah, and it also shows what we as Bahamians can achieve when we work hand in hand with each other.
We have the technical know-how, and we can pretty much deliver on any project here in the Bahamas or in the world.
Bahamas Strike from the Bahamian company. They prove that they believe in Bahamians.
Based on the outcome of this project, I don't think they're disappointed in giving a small person an opportunity to do a job such as this.
The more opportunity they get, the more opportunity we will get.
If you look around and see the work done so far, it just shows what we as Bahamians can do.
Numbers move people to make decisions.
I don't know that there's been a time where we had a program asking this very sticky question.
These are the women that are actually running the government.
It's Monday, and you know what that means. The Bahama Beauty is here to tell us everything that happened on social media over the weekend.
I'm the Bahama Beauty, and here's what's the buzz for this week.
Julian believes showing the haters better than he could tell them. After being the center of controversy amidst the announcement of performers for the Vibes Cartel and Friends concert, Julian believes teamed up with artist Shine 242 and producer Zoltan to showcase exactly what type of vibe you'll be coming to see. The Modern Rake and Scrape original took social media by storm after the singer posted a quick snippet of the music video.
I gone by the bar, trying to catch a vibe. Met this pretty young thing, you should have seen them thighs. She start feeling up on me, my temperature rise. You think you can handle it, girl? Come meet me outside.
Bahamians quickly changed their tone in support of the artist and his new song. This user posting, "Yeah, this come for the summer." Another adding, "They was just dissing, now they want whip whop, only up king." This a bop right here. I find Julian Believe to be talented. I don't care what y'all say. Comedian and influencer Drewski is facing serious allegations in an alleged amended lawsuit against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The lawsuit accuses Drewski, along with NFL star Odell Beckham Jr., of sexually assaulting Ashley Parham during a 2018 event at Diddy's residence in California. The document alleges that Drewski, under Diddy's direction, assaulted her using oil, likening the act to a slip and slide. Drewski has vehemently denied these allegations in a statement posted to his social media, stating that in 2018, he was not a public figure and had no connections to the entertainment industry. He described the claims as fabricated and outlandish. Similarly, Odell Beckham Jr. has refuted the accusations, labeling them as ridiculous. The alleged amended document made its rounds on X over the weekend, with some questioning its authenticity, as no reputable outlet has confirmed the legitimacy of it or its contents. These developments add to the growing scrutiny surrounding Diddy's freak-off parties, which have been previously associated with allegations of illicit activities, including drug use and non-consensual sexual encounters. The parties, known for their opulence and secrecy, have come under intense media scrutiny following various allegations against Combs. As the legal proceedings continue, both Drewski and Beckham Jr. maintain their innocence. Rapper and YouTuber DDG and singer-actress Halle Bailey are currently embroiled in a nasty public dispute concerning their co-parenting relationship. Following their breakup in October 2024, after nearly 3 years together, DDG took to his Twitch accusing the mother of his child of purposely keeping his son away from him. The streamer claimed that he hadn't seen his son in months, despite users pointing out that he incorporated his son in his streams just a few days prior. He further claimed that he felt more like a nanny than a father, expressing his desire to be more involved in Halo's life. In response, Halle announced a temporary break from social media, explaining that she and Halo were unwell, dealing with symptoms of RSV, and needed time to recover. She emphasized her focus on caring for her child during this period. This public exchange has sparked discussions among fans and followers, with many expressing concern over the transparency of their personal issues and the impact on their young son. Observers have noticed past incidents such as DDG's previous relationships and his song Famous, which references Halle's role in The Little Mermaid as potential red flags in their relationship. So it was indeed no surprise when he yet again took his problems to the studio.
And this be from Cash, not from YouTube. Don't take my son, cause he all I got. I'm just having fun. I don't love these thoughts. You tell me that you gon' move on, but I know you not. Tryna make me pay to see my son. They gon' make me hot. That'll make me pissed. That'll make me sick.
The situation remains fluid, with both DDG and Halle keeping their followers updated through their respective social media channels. We sincerely hope these two can come to a more cordial agreement for Halo's sake.
Jimmy, let me tell you something. The man for me will never be a man with an Instagram, a Facebook, a X, nothing. No type of social media, because it's just too much.
I think people are over this whole thing with Haley and DDG. Like,
because it screams you just want attention.
Yeah.
Because number one, you had the child on stream a couple of days prior, but you talking about you ain't see the child in weeks or months.
Make it make sense.
It don't make sense. The mother of your child already said her and the child are sick. RSV is a really serious
disease. So I mean, clearly you ain't understand.
No, because you want to set up in my house.
Cloud and you want attention.
Yeah, you want to set up in my house, but. No, take your child, go to your house, and if you can't, then you need to leave. Like, I don't understand. No, but you want to sit up in my house and make me miserable when I done sick. Like,
anyway, they can be all right, but I like this new song, though.
I like, even if I wanted to be a hater, I couldn't, because that's
a song.
That song is the jam. That song with Julian Believe and Zoltan and Shine do. They kill it with that. I ain't gonna lie.
You say the whip wow? Oh,
get it, Jimmy. You get it down. Just say whip, wop, whip, wop, whip.
That's a big tune. Big tune for summer.
When you see me on my head and vibes with that song playing, I don't want you all to act like little. Oh, here we go. That's right. Just whip, wop, whip, wop.
Trying to catch your vibe.
On that. Don't get the crazy. I'm cracking it.
There is so much more after the break. Stay with us.
diet-friendly special?
Here at Immigration Care Service, you can trust us, especially if you have experienced issues or problems with the U.S. immigration at the borders. We'll do our best to provide options and solutions to immigration roadblocks, so travelers can continue visiting the U.S. and residents can continue living their lives in the U.S. without worries. The best part? Our services are affordable and accessible. Take the mystery, confusion, and fear out of your immigration concerns. Contact Immigration Care Service today.
On Tuesday's show, in studio, we'll have a representative from the Sandbox to show you all the latest trends in children's wear. And they're back, our friends from the Perfume Bar, with some delightful items. Well, that's all the time we have for today's show. A huge thank you to our incredible guests for sharing their insights and stories with us. As always, we'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. with more exciting guests, thought-provoking conversations, and a whole lot of laughs, only on the ZNS network. See you later.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition has a look at stories making news tonight. The midterm budget and a compendium of bills passed in the House of Assembly. Plus, Central and South Abaco MP John Pinder says the island continues to thrive despite ongoing challenges. And a high-speed police chase ends with an arrest of 3 suspects, 2 males and 1 female.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks for tuning in. Topping news tonight, the midterm budget and a compendium of bills, including amendments to have Value-Added Tax Act and the Business License Act, passed in the House of Assembly Monday. In closing the debate, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis highlighted the progress the country has made since the Davis administration entered office. The Prime Minister, who previously highlighted that government for the first 6 months collected $1.4 billion in revenue, the biggest haul for that period, says the work continues.
Government, Madam Speaker, is not about sitting back and admiring the achievements of the past. It is about facing the challenges of the future. It is about recognizing that for all we have done, there's still more to do. That we recognize. There are those who will tell you that we have achieved nothing, that our progress is illusion. But the facts will speak for themselves.
He says when you see a growing economy, investment and jobs returning, it is a success that was made possible due to the resilience of Bahamians.
As we wrap up this debate, let us do so with a clear sense of purpose, not just to account for what has been done, but to make clear what must be done next. Because the future of this nation is not something that will be decided by commentators or critics. It will be decided by the choices we make here in this Parliament.
Meanwhile, Central and South Abaco Member of Parliament John Pinder making his contribution to the mid-year budget debate, stating that Abaco continues to thrive despite its ongoing challenges. Shane Stubbs has more in this report.
In his contribution to the mid-year budget debate, Member of Parliament for Central and South Abaco, John Pinder, applauded the diligent work of the Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, remaining at the forefront of keeping the economy thriving. He says returning visitor rate remains high, with it making up over half of the total number of visitors moving throughout the country.
And we aren't even rebuilt yet. From 2023 to 2024, we're up 11.9%. in air arrivals. That's almost 12% up in 1 year, and we are still missing some of the key components like Treasure Key Resort, like the Hopetown Harbor Lodge, the finished rebuilding of Sea Spray Resort, and many others.
Boating and yachting remains on a forward trajectory, Pinder says, with most family island marinas benefiting from the country's diversification of the tourism product, drawing in luxury cruise liners that house 200 to 300 high-spending individuals. Boating tournaments and marinas are already sold out, and yachters are being encouraged to give other marinas a chance, with New Providence seeing a slight decline in that arena. But there is room to improve the yachting product by creating more brokering leverage for the Bahamas Yacht Charter Association.
It's one of the things that we're missing, and it's a huge sector that would not only be an economic benefit for the country, but also for Bahamians that are already in that sector. Let's spread the wealth to Bahamians across this nation.
However, while tourism remains strong, the Central and South Abaco MP says entrepreneurs are continuing to thrive, opening businesses and providing employment opportunities, leading to a clarion call to local investors, not only from a business standpoint, but to bolster the housing economy.
I reach out to all Bahamians across this country. If you're looking for an investment, come invest in Abaco. Come build some apartments. Come build some housing. Come maybe put your business in Abaco. There is many, many things that can benefit all Bahamians, and not to mention our proximity to Grand Bahama, which is also on the move. The North is definitely on the move.
With other projects on that northern island yet to come to fruition, Pinder says he vows to continue to fight for the betterment of his constituents. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Also from Abaco, during the House of Assembly session, Member of Parliament for North Abaco, the Honorable Kirk Cornish, highlighting that some of the key work recently done, such as the demolition of the old post office in Green Turtle Key and the assessment of over 40 homes in need of repair in Grand Key. Following the announcement, the Member of Parliament took time to reassure the constituents of the sure progression of the area.
North Abaco, I wish to remind you that small progress is far better than no progress. We give this PLP administration 2 sitting members of parliament. We voted the 2 FNN out simply because we was completely tired of the misrepresentation, the disrespect. So we decided to go with my party of 30 years, the Progressive Liberal Party. While there is much to be done in Abaco, I don't stand here and say to you that there isn't anything to be done. But I am saying to you, you have a government that is listening to you, that cares. We are working on your behalf.
The honorable member adds that the work is the evidence of the promises made, continuing to ensure the entirety of Abaco will return to its former elegance.
We have ministers and caring ministers who we continue to bring your concerns to on a daily basis. We believe, we hope, and we know that this administration is far different from the former. Listen to all of the ministers in their presentation. They are promising to fix what is broken. North Abaco, I simply wish to say this to you. There is a saying, I would rather fail at trying to help you than to succeed at hurting you.
In other news, following a high-speed chase on West Sunrise Highway in the South Bahama area of Grand Bahama, officers from the Drug Enforcement Unit arresting 3 suspects, 2 males and 1 female, on possession of marijuana. Police officials say this is how the incident transpired.
For drug enforcement, they would have saw a vehicle in the Bahama area who was backing to stop. However, that vehicle accelerated, took off at a high rate of speed. The officers gave chase, eventually bringing the car to a stop, and they were able to recover a small amount of marijuana. Those 3 persons are in custody, 2 males and a female, who's assisting with that investigation at this time.
Meantime, police across the country remain committed to traffic initiatives aimed at improving road safety despite the occurrence of several recent traffic incidents. The latest involving a 57-year-old woman from Abaco marked the 3rd traffic fatality that week alone. Commenting on these incidents, Sergeant Valentino Oliver is attributing many of these accidents to drivers failing to yield the right-of-way.
I think the problem with that is persons are not willing to give way. Okay, you have to give way to motorists. You have to drive what we call defensively, okay, where you not only drive for yourself, but you drive for other members of the public. And I think that will be, once persons adhere to that, that will kind of alleviate or curb the uprise in accidents on the streets of the Commonwealth of Bahamas.
According to recent statistics provided by the Royal Bahamas Police Force, there was an increase in traffic deaths last year compared to the previous year. Sergeant Oliver also noting that speed plays a significant factor in these accidents, as he cautioned drivers to respect the rules of the road.
And I guess they feel as though it's hands-free or free go to just go on the street, but you have to adhere to the speed limit in every area. Okay, there are various signs posted in different areas. Try to adhere to the speed signs and stay in the speed limit. In this area, the speed limit is 15 miles per hour. If you are in the outer city limits, the speed limit is 45 miles per hour. If you are the inner city limits, it's between 25 and 30 miles per hour. And if there's no sign posted, you should assume that the speed limit is 20 miles per hour based on the Road Traffic Act.
In news from the crime beat, police on Grand Bahama are investigating an alleged armed robbery that occurred on Sunday, March 9th at South Mall Drive. Initial reports indicate that shortly after 2 a.m., the victim was walking home from a business establishment when she was confronted by an unknown male armed with a sharp object. The suspect attacked and robbed her of her personal belongings, including cash, before fleeing the scene, heading in the easterly direction on East Atlantic Drive. Anyone with information regarding this incident is asked to please contact police at 911, 919, the nearest police station, or the Criminal Investigations Department. Anonymous tips are also welcomed through Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. Switching gears now, the Rehabilitation of Offenders Committee recently held a town hall meeting at the Force to Be Pristina Center, engaging the public on their role in helping offenders get back on their feet. However, it was a special night for 10 individuals who received some long-awaited news. Shane Stubbs has more in this report.
While it served as an information forum for the Rehabilitation of Offenders Committee here on the island, it also served as a fresh start for 10 people who were previously convicted of offenses officially receiving their certificates of expungement, furthering proof that the committee is dedicated to giving those who are looking for it a second chance.
For my brothers out there, there's a way. I feel like the rehabilitation is helping me a lot.
It's been a long time coming, but these individuals can now navigate through life with a clean slate. The offenses ranged from drug-related cases, housebreaking, and even fights with law enforcement. But with certificate in hand, the moment confirms to them that second chances are real and that they are not defined by their past mistakes.
This helped me to grow myself to be a better person, to be a man now to say, accept what I have done, and to say, if I want better, I will do better.
I'm relieved because it's been times where my son would ask me, but Dad, we could go away, and I'd be like, I'd give him a story because I know I can't drive it.
I would like to let everybody know, if you feel like you're stuck because of past mistakes, you have a second chance. The rehabilitative committee is real.
According to committee member Bishop Barry Morris, the process can take anywhere between 3 to 6 months and is a united front of 3 entities to ensure that individuals meet the criteria to have their record wiped clean.
And of course, it's an interviewing collaboration with the police force, the rehabilitative arm of the social services, and of course with the committee. After they fill out their applications, they give us the necessary things that we need that is requested on the application. We meet, we talk with them. Once it is agreed that they meet the criteria by law, we support that, and they are released to start life anew.
It takes meticulous effort vetting offenders and their sincerity, but nevertheless, Morris believes strongly in the power of second chances.
So we are very, very methodical and as careful as we possibly can be, but we want to assist those who are in need.
The Collab unit is on board, and Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, is proud to provide a space to vet future applicants.
It means so much to, I know, the people in this room tonight and for those to come. Again, thank you so much.
Starting this and every Thursday, the Rehabilitation of Offenders Committee can be found at the Collab unit in the Harold de Gregory building from 3:30 to 5 p.m. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
And still to come.
Culture comes alive this weekend as Junior Junkanoo Parade takes center stage. We'll have that story, sports, and more when we return.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Get ready for the Freeport Business Expo Tourism Edition 2, happening May 1st and 2nd. Network, explore, and grow with top industry leaders. Register today at freeportbusinessexpo.com. Zing has more of what you need, from organic, gluten-free, and vegan snacks to eco-friendly products. They offer healthier choices every day. Visit number 8 West Cedar Street or call 812-5755. Zing, where better choices begin.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. Get ready for the Junior Junkanoo Parade as schools are preparing to bring vibrant energy and culture pride to the streets in just a matter of days. The Deputy Director of Sports in North says it's all about keeping the culture alive. The details in this report.
It's going to be very, very exciting.
This year, 19 schools have registered to participate in the highly anticipated Junior Junkanoo Parade, a slight dip from last year's 25. But Deputy Director of Sports for the Northern Bahamas, Norris Bain, assures that the excitement is still alive and well.
We're closer to the Junior Junkanoo Parade, and if you're around the schools, you hear the goat skin drums, you hear the horns. You see the cutting, and you go around the schools, you see the young people involved in the cutting and the building of costumes and stuff. So, yeah, it's just an excitement about it. We're going to miss Walter Parker and Freeport Primary this year, but we definitely want to try to get them back on the streets, Lord's willing, next year.
And it doesn't stop there, as steps are already being taken to integrate Junkanoo into the school curriculum, a move that will bring this treasured cultural experience into the classroom. Though full details have not been disclosed, Bain says that both the Ministries of Education and the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture are collaborating to make this vision a reality.
I'm sure they're going to take it from an historical standpoint to where it becomes hands-on, where children would not only have knowledge of where we've come from, but also be taught how to do some of the crafts and the building of costumes, the pasting.
He adds that the community should be just as invested in keeping the culture alive.
We as adults just have to make sure that we continue to support it financially, and the Junkanooers need to join themselves to schools so that they can partner with schools and help the students to be able to learn and be able to put on quality work.
Tickets for the Junior Junkanoo Parade are now on sale and can be purchased at any of the participating schools or at the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture's office downtown. General admission seats are $5, while Showtime seats are available for $10. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Thanks, Raven. Well, International Women's Day celebrated throughout the world this past Saturday. It's a day dedicated to recognizing and celebrating the achievements, contributions, and progress of women across the world, while also highlighting the ongoing struggles and challenges women face in various aspects of life. Here at home, a brunch was held at the Stone Crab restaurant featuring the spouse of the Prime Minister, Anne-Marie Davis, who addressed prominent issues like gender equality. Shalia Roll has more on this report.
We strongly Bahamian women, we have made remarkable progress in leadership, in education, business, and beyond. And we have claimed our rightful place in spaces where we were once excluded, right?
It was a day filled with unity and love as women gathered at the Stone Crab restaurant to celebrate International Women's Day. Lady Anne-Marie Davis, the keynote speaker at the event, says that the theme, Accelerate Action, is challenging women all around to change the status quo.
And this year's theme is called Accelerate Action. And this resonates deeply with the urgent need to push boundaries, challenge the status quo, and drive forward the agenda of gender equality.
Davis also adding the importance of celebrating International Women's Day.
It's a day to recognize the strides we have all made and acknowledge the challenges that still lie ahead. And together, we will strategize on how we can accelerate our efforts to create a world where every woman and every girl can thrive.
Gender equality is the principle that all people, regardless of gender, have equal rights, opportunities, and responsibilities. And the First Lady says that women fighting for gender equality is far from finished.
Although we've done so much and achieved so much, we must acknowledge that our journey is far from over. Because without gender equality, there can be no true progress in a country. And our humanity will never reach its highest peak as long as a large portion of our society, meaning women, is denied our human rights.
Women who attended the brunch sharing why celebrating International Women's Day is important.
Are really doing some amazing things in our community right now, and I think that we really have to support each other. And so coming to an event like this really was important to me, especially on International Women's Day.
I think women should always empower each other, and this is a good way of us networking and sticking together as women.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shalia Roll.
In other news, the Bahamas marked a local government month with flag-raising ceremonies across the country celebrating 29 years since the enactment of local government. Here on Grand Bahama, the city of Freeport District hosted its ceremony Monday morning on the lawn at the National Insurance Building under the theme, Empowering Communities and Enhancing Productivity, a New Era in Local Governance. Consultant Alexander Williams emphasized the critical role of local government, describing it as the foundation of democracy, which brings the government closer to the people. Meantime, Administrator for the City of Freeport District, Preston Cooper, took the opportunity to remind practitioners of their duty to serve their communities with the highest level of dedication and commitment.
I say to you, our why should be in line with what our Creator expects of us. And that is that we must be the best human beings that we can ever be. Once we would have concluded our service in local government, or whatsoever that we are assigned to do in this moment in time, we should aim to leave that place, or in the city of Freeport, councillors, we leave it a much better place than when we met it.
In Grand Bahama, local government is often viewed as a breeding ground for national leadership, attracting individuals from across the political spectrum. Chief Councillor Kendall Culmer highlighting that despite the diversity of political backgrounds, all practitioners share a common goal to serve their communities and foster progress.
We sit to that table, a collective group of persons, some on both sides of the political divide. But as we sit to that table, we sit there as one, with one common goal, to better our community, to better the living environments of the residents, the social ills we try to get rid of.
Well, that's a look at stories making news. Our Jay Philippe is standing by at the sports complex. Jay, tell us what's happening in sports.
And in sports, final day of competition at this year's Island Sports at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex.
Thanks, Jay. That's coming up next. But first, a check on the local weather forecast.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
See news in the making? Call us at 352-9713 or 359-5167, or you can email us at zns3news@gmail.com.
Here at Island Bedding, we provide Bahamians a local option for factory direct quality sleep products. We have also expanded to include a range of furniture and home accessories. Check out our new living room pieces, including sectional, TV stands, accent tables, and more. Come on down to Island Bedding and feast your eyes on prices you have to see to believe. Located at number 5 Queens Highway, across from Caribbean Veterinarian.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
Guess what? Budget Pest Control has something important to show you. Cobb Termites Former Salmus, the super termite. What makes them super? Their ferocious appetite can attack your home from below and above. They even attack forestry. But don't worry. Budget Pest Control has extensively studied this species on Grand Bahama. You can even check out our scientific paper. So you can count on us to protect your investment. Call Budget Pest Control, the termite specialist.
Yes, Ramiko, it's been some fierce competition the past 5 days. It all started on Wednesday with the field events, and now we're on the final day of this year's Fidelity Bank Island Sports at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex. So far, Tabernacle is leading in the junior and senior category, and right behind me happening right now is the finals of the 100-meter hurdles and under 17 boys. And we also have all the fans are still waiting in the stands. They are waiting just because the 4x4 relays are next. And after the 4x4 relays, we'll determine who will be the winner. But just in case you missed the action on Saturday, Shane Stubbs were here for the 100-meter finals. Here's those highlights.
Day 4 of the Fidelity Bank High School Track and Field Championships had a whole lot of action on Saturday. As a recap of how everything went down. Kiesha KK Thomas is now the under-17 girls meet record holder in the 400 meters, clocking 55.14 seconds.
I thank God for allowing me to stay consistent in my races.
Erin Barwood also eclipsed the under-20 girls 1500-meter record. She clocked 5 minutes and 1.31 seconds, while also tipping under the Carifta standard.
This feels awesome. Thank you to my family, my coaches, and everyone who supported me.
Also meeting the Carifta high jump standard was Dwight Jones of Tabernacle Baptist, leaping 2 meters to secure a gold medal for the Falcons. In the under-15 girls 400 meters, Anaya Nesbitt picked up her second gold medal of the meet.
God got me through it, and I'm very happy.
The under-20 boys 400 meters was a heavyweight bout, but Zion Shepherd would retain his crown as the best over that distance.
300 in a row, 400 meter champion, what can I say? But thank God.
And to close day 4 out, Khalees Roberts, Shavano Rowell, Sandra Russell, Avante Lotmore, Rihanna Sims, Jamal Deluche, Tanaj Turnquest and Alexander Colby are this year's 100-meter champions.
I trained really hard for this, and I think I earned it.
I feel better that I came first, and I know that I could beat them this time.
I was really scared. When I get scared, it helps me to push. No, I have to rely on my top end, so I know my big Carolina the best in the world. I just wanted to tell our team the first to keep it in the Falcons family.
Going into this race, I just know I had to defend my title.
This moment right now is very special to me, and I defended my title.
And I just hope I get it to win.
Is that ZNS Total Sports? I'm Shane Stubbs.
Again, it's been really, really competitive here the past 5 days at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex. A number of island sports records were broken, but again, the 4x4 finals is going to be next. Right now it's the 110 hurdles, under 17 boys, but the 4x4 final is going to determine who's going to walk away as this year's Fidelity Bank Island Sports 2025 High School Track and Field Champions. I'll be here until probably about 8:30, 9 o'clock tonight with Miko, so we'll see in the next few hours who will be the champion. So back to you guys in the studio, and I'll be here all night, Miko.
What is Business Fit? Business Fit is a group health insurance package offered by BAF Financial. What are some of the benefits of Business Fit? No deductible, dental and vision care, hospital room and board, surgical treatment, labs, medication and drugs, maternity, doctors, clinics, specialist visits, chemotherapy and radiation treatment, air and ground ambulance, and preventative care. Business Fit, offered by
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, on to the next. Budget bills and accompanying resolutions clear the House of Assembly, paving the way for their introduction in the Senate. Also, SpaceX drops debris in the Bahamas. Find out where officials are in the recovery process and what happens next and when. And small pockets of smoke, still a big factor 3 days post that huge scrap metal yard fire in southwest New Providence. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. Dismissing talks of an illusion, the Prime Minister today focused instead on the past 6 months of the fiscal year, attributing the progress to determination and hard work. Our Fern Carey covered the wrap-up of the mid-year budget debate in the House of Assembly.
Minister of Finance, Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis, touting the government's progress for the first half of the fiscal year in the House of Assembly Monday. He cited fiscal discipline and strategic planning as pivotal to a revived domestic economy and other gains.
When you see an economy that is growing, when you see jobs returning, when you see record investment flowing into this country, you do not need to be told that what success looks like. It is happening. It is real. And it is only possible because of the faith, the perseverance, and the sheer resilience of the Bahamian people.
The nation's leader noted that the facts speak for themselves despite criticism from the opposition. His comments prompting opposition leader Michael Pintard to rise to his feet on a point of order.
International agencies, investors, and economists point to the Bahamas as a country on the rise. That's right. They cover their ears. Yeah. Madam Speaker, they told us the economy will not recover. It has. Yes. They told us we could not attract investment. We have. They told us unemployment would not fall. It has. They told us we would not get spending under control. That's right. We did. We did that. They told us that government revenues would collapse. They have strengthened. Do you accept that the economy has recovered?
Yes.
Madam Speaker, when the economy reopened, it reopened, Madam Speaker, with a 14, then 10% economic growth rate. And then it returned to pre-pandemic numbers. So to answer the Prime Minister, yes, once an economy reopens, you expect an increase.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Now, ahead of the Prime Minister's wrap-up came a contribution from the leader of government business, the Freetown MP, encouraging residents to compare the track records of both major political parties as the 2026 general elections near. In the final analysis, he says there's no comparison. Carla Palmer reports.
Member of Parliament for Freetown and Minister of National Security, the Honourable Wayne Munro, says the Free National Movement cannot compare to the Progressive Liberal Party in its policies and programs, beginning with health.
The member for Tall Pines bought 15 ambulances. 15. I don't know how many they bought. I don't think they bought many, if one, but they didn't buy 15. And then, Madam Speaker, the member for Tall Pines also managed to have under construction and well completed 10 new clinics and has refurbished 52.
Minister Munro also touted the growth of tourist arrivals, now up at 11.2 million visitors, the highest in decades, and noted the decision to reduce value-added tax again for a second time since coming to office in 2021 to 5%. He says the PLP also outshines the FNM in building the workforce.
My ministry and the agencies have recruited to the police force, to the defense force, and to the Department of Corrections. We recruited more in 20 months than they did in 4.5 years.
Minister Munro then brought to the fore the moorings issue together with what he regards the definition of a clear conflict of interest.
At least we can find the moorings document. We still can't find the Oban documents. And a conflict of interest only arises with a person who is the decision maker. That a clear conflict of interest is my predecessor signing his own security license.
Minister Munro is encouraging the voting electorate to consider these points as valid when going to the polls. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
In other news this evening, a SpaceX recovery team accompanied Department of Environmental Planning and Protection officers in waters around Ragged Island today after finding a debris field in that area yesterday. The recovery exercise follows SpaceX's Starship rocket explosion last Thursday evening. Now, according to Department of Environmental Protection and Planning Director Dr. Rihanna Murphy-Neely, today's recovery exercise involved collecting debris that was washing onto the shore with seaweed.
The next step for us is to continue to remove the debris that we find along the coastline and in the water. We ask that the Bahamian public, if you see waste, that you report it to the DEPP or to the hotline number that SpaceX has provided, and we will come and remove it. We will also begin a more in-depth marine analysis to see if we can find some of the larger equipment that may have sunken down to the bottom of the ocean.
Now, the environmental director also touched on the rocket's impact on the country's marine life.
A lot of the material we can confirm is non-toxic to the environment. We expect that the propellants would have been lost into the atmosphere, the methane, as well as the liquefied oxygen. And so those should not be in our space anymore. Some of the pieces that we're finding are made of silica. And so we are looking to see what is going to be the impacts of these onto our environment as these pieces get smaller. But the immediate activity and the immediate action is to remove as much of them as possible so that we remove that long-term risk from our environment.
Over in New York is where you could find the Minister of Social Services, who's leading a delegation to the 69th session of the Commission on the Status of Women. World leaders and women's advocates coming together there to address gender equality and empowerment. Our Felicity Darville is in New York City with that story.
The Commission on the Status of Women, or CSW 69, is particularly significant as it marks the 30th anniversary of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action. 3 decades later, and world leaders still report that the advancement for women and girls have not nearly been enough. There are 12 critical areas being tackled this week, including women and poverty, education and training, women and health, and violence against women. While these are global concerns, Minister the Honorable Miles LaRota says the Bahamas is no exception.
We in the Bahamas know that since 1995, there have been a lot of improvements. Yet we still have a way to go. There's still issues with the disparity in pay among women. There's still the issue of women being representative in Parliament based on their percentage of the population and other issues. And so while improvements have been made, advancement have been made, there's still a lot of way for us to go as it relates to further advancement and ensuring that there's true gender equity.
As chair of Commonwealth Women's Affairs, Minister LaRota said that when he spoke at CHOGM, the Bahamas received tremendous support.
I led off by stating that the Speaker of the House is a woman, that the President of the Senate is a woman. I mentioned that there are various ministries that are headed by women, and you'd be amazed the round of applause that statement invoked in the room. We've since have a Commissioner of Police that is a female. So clearly the Bahamas is way ahead of a lot of countries as it relates to women and the role that they're playing in leadership in the country.
Promoting women's rights means protecting our mothers and daughters, empowering our sisters and friends. And without it, those who naturally nurture and care for humanity will not be able to live in a free and fair world. From the United Nations headquarters in New York City for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
Coming up, assessing the scrap metal yard fire in southwestern New Providence. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country, pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
No. Hey, look, KFC has an incredible promo.
I already had that for lunch.
Oh.
Quench your hunger cravings and satisfy the whole family with KFC bucket meals starting at just $20. Get freshly prepared golden fried chicken, buttery biscuits, and add your favorite large sides. Bucket meals starting at just $20. KFC, finger licking good.
Experience the difference with BTC's fixed services. Whether you're working from home or enjoying family time, BTC ensures you're always in touch with the people and moments that count. BTC isn't just a service, it's a lifestyle. Stay connected, stay inspired, and live your best life. BTC.
Honey barbecue. Spicy on noon.
Signature hot, hot wings.
What's your flavor? Roasted garlic parmesan. Tastes so good, chicken.
Those pepper wings.
Now available at Popeyes in Nassau.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you. At the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Hi, Kevin. How can I help you?
Is it true this institution isn't doing too well? Should I move my money since I have a business and personal savings account?
Don't worry about the gossip. Banks are regulated, so the chances of this institution failing is slim. and your deposit accounts are protected. We are members of the Deposit Insurance Corporation, so your deposits are protected up to a maximum of $50,000.
What if I have more? My business account has a little over $100,000 in it. Will I get my remaining funds if the bank fails?
Yes, through the process of liquidation, which is when the bank's assets are sold over time to repay its creditors, like yourself.
Well, I learned something new today.
My advice is to diversify your financial portfolio across different account types, different member banks, and credit unions. Help us to protect you by protecting yourself.
To learn more, visit our website, dic.bs, for more information.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
You're looking at a shot of the sun setting over the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort. Welcome back. A bit of good news to report on this weekend's massive fire at a scrap metal yard. Authorities telling us that it's been completely extinguished. However, small pockets of smoke remain. Meantime, Works Minister the Honorable Clay Sweeting announcing today that an extensive assessment of sites like these will be undertaken. The minister also says a closer review of roadside garages is about to begin. These businesses, he says, have been the subject of public outrage, and their operations often lead to dangerous situations like these recent fires. However, the minister says this is a long-standing issue and there are no quick fixes.
We are assessing it. We have a team that's looking at possibly relocating a lot of the larger ones, and also assessing how the ministry gives approval, not just our ministry, but finance, Inland Revenue for business license and all of that. So it's a multi-agency, multi-ministerial approach. It won't happen overnight, but I will guarantee that we're looking at it, assessing it to ensure that a fire such massive as yesterday, good thing it was controlled, doesn't cause a larger fire throughout these communities.
What appears to be an alarming trend in the rate of attempted suicides and suicides gripping the country should not be overlooked. National Security Minister the Honorable Wayne Munro strongly urging that more attention be paid to this potential epidemic, which he says is often overshadowed by the public's interest in murders.
Morning again, I saw another instance of attempted suicide mixed right in there with those homicides. The homicides tend to be directed, and those people who decide that they're going to do that, there's very little, I suspect, we can do other than seek to interdict them, catch them. If we don't catch them before they commit it, then after. But while we get so focused on that, we seem to be ignoring that there's an increasing rate of people committing suicide or attempting to commit suicide, and that surely has to be something we can do more about.
Meantime, homicide detectives starting off the week with 2 back-to-back killings here in the capital. For the details on what preliminary investigations have so far revealed, we turn now to our Devontae Hannah.
A mere 4 hours apart, 2 men shot to death, another fighting for his life in hospital. The latest incident around 10:45 last night in Kennedy subdivision. Sitting in a white car parked in front of a Vernon Street home was a group of men who, according to detectives, were approached by a black Japanese car.
Occupants of that vehicle exited and opened fire on the group of males, hitting one male fatally, and the other victim was transported to the hospital.
Circles in the street mark where bullets were found on the scene, more than 20, which shattered glass and drew the attention of dozens of curious onlookers, some reeling with emotion. Both victims believed to be in their early 20s, residents of the area, but not the home. Morticians cleared the scene, but the investigation of a homicide that occurred shortly before 7 was still fresh.
The victim was at his residence when a light-colored Japanese vehicle pulled up. 2 occupants of that vehicle exited the vehicle and shot the victim.
The incident occurred in Munson Village off Boyd Road. The victim here said to be in his early 30s. Both incidents pushing the country's homicide count to 15 for the year, but still a marked decrease compared to last year. According to statistics, by March 15, 2024, the country had already recorded 32 homicides. Nevertheless, police say they remain resolute in carrying out their duties.
We are doing our walkabouts. We're engaging the communities. Our patrol units are out and saturating the streets. So we are visible out there. So we are going to continue to police the streets.
The condition of the victim transported to hospital remains unknown. For the Bombers Tonight, I'm Devontae Hanna.
Stay with us on The Beat is after the break.
Portion of the news is brought to you by Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exuma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is to do some work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass it along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
At BOB, we take pride in our business banking.
I chose Bank of the Bahamas because it was a Bahamian-owned bank. The bank has certainly supported our evolution through overdraft facilities, purchasing of equipment, facilitating of salary payments, and I really believe that Bank of the Bahamas is able to help in the development of the local economy. I would truly recommend the services at Bank of the Bahamas.
All Alive Fiber basketball fans, get ready to experience the NBA Finals live. You can enter an all-expense-paid trip to not one, but 2 NBA Finals games. It's simple. Just sign up for our Alive NBA League Pass or Infinite Sports X package by May 16th. Stay connected, enjoy blazing fast internet, and score your chance to witness the NBA action up close. Don't miss out. Visit AliveFiber.com and take your shot at NBA glory. Terms and conditions apply. It's good to be alive.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
This portion of the news is brought to you by 700 Wines and Spirits, bringing celebration across the nation.
Hundreds flying and boating into Eleuthera this past Saturday for an exhilarating day of exercise with a purpose. And among them, our very own Danielle Dean, who tells us more about the annual Bike-a-thon challenge that attracts participants from all walks of life.
Around 300 participants, among them walkers, runners, and cyclists. Some of them even flying into the island of Eleuthera for a worthy cause.
Bahamas Hope Challenge.
Started in 2006, and the motive behind this 17th edition, according to founder and director Susan Larson, is the same as it's always been, to help Bahamians beat cancer.
We have a terrible high incidence of breast cancer in the Bahamas. The BRCA1 gene mutation is higher per capita in the Bahamas than anywhere else in the world. And in many of our family islands, where there's no medical infrastructure, women were getting diagnosed at stage 4, and you have a real steep battle on your hands to beat breast cancer.
The challenge funds Family Islands women's flight to Nassau for their first mammogram, because cancer, when detected early, can be beaten. Reps from Lifer Key International School, Atlantis Resort, and Fidelity Bank made their way to Governor's Harbour last weekend in solidarity. But a dual-purpose trip for the bank's client credit specialist, Francis Adderley.
It actually gave me an opportunity to see my daughter and my granddaughter, so this is like 3 generations in one. We recognize the need that others have, and so we really want to be able to give back.
2-year-old Luciana Pyfram, the youngest runner of the pack.
Oh, she loved it. We did 10K, and she ran some of it, and then we put her back in the stroller, and yeah, so we did a little bit of both. Great for her to see community and the spirit and to get out and support a good cause.
A sight to see, though, 7-year-old Life for Key student Keziah Krieger, who honestly admitted,
"It's a bit hard, but I do like it."
But pushed through 20 miles of cycling because, like everyone else, she came to this conclusion.
Lots of people die from it, and we don't want people dying.
With Health Matters for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Well, thanks, Danielle. Well, Dawn and her new co-host, Marlena, joins us live with a sneak peek of Access Now.
Because, well, let me tell you, Barabbas and the tribe is about to dig up the streets in Savannah, Georgia. I know you're a Valley girl, but Marlena, which Junkanoo group are you?
Well, I don't know if this is going to be the right answer for everybody, but I was also raised in a Valley Boys fan home, so that's where I'm going to have to do mine. But judging by your face, that's not the right answer. So who do you support?
Saxon, Shell Saxon superstar. Yeah. You joined the bandwagon of the Valley Nation.
Is it choice?
Dawn, you're outnumbered.
Yeah.
You're outnumbered at this point. Stay with us. Our feature story is up next.
Diet-friendly special.
For over half a century, we've been more than just an airline. We've been a bridge, connecting families, dreams, and memories across the islands and beyond. Behind every seat sold and every journey planned, there's a dedicated team committed to making air travel affordable and accessible to everyone. At Bahamas Air, we're not just building connections, we're building a safe and dependable airline where quality service is paramount and an excellent travel experience is our priority. Wherever you're going, we're here to take you there with care, with heart, and with the promise of unforgettable journeys. We are family, and just like family, we're committed to taking care of our own. Your Bahamas Air is our Bahamas Air, because here at Bahamas Air, we don't just fly here, we live here.
What if I told you Wendy's has a new burger? With a flavor so secret, it's almost too delicious to handle. Well, now it's time to unlock that flavor. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue cheeseburger. We can't tell you everything, but we can tell you that it's packed with flavor, including our secret barbecue sauce. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue cheeseburger today. Available for a limited time.
Today, the world celebrates the remarkable careers and necessity of women in the courtroom. Here at home, a special group of youngsters heard from women of stature in the local legal system. Our Danielle Dean tells us more.
The women insist female judges add a bit of sparkle to the courtroom.
It is a powerful achievement for all of us, a very humbling experience to whom much is given, much is expected. And every day we seek to bring equality and gender neutral decisions to our cases. And we seek to empower women, children, and men in our judicial system. We look at persons, we cannot see color, we cannot see gender, we cannot see race, so biases are removed.
Senior Justice of the Supreme Court, Cheryl Grant Thompson, sharing as much during a visit she and her colleagues made today to Eva Hilton Primary on this International Day of Women Judges.
This is the first year that we're visiting the we're visiting the schools. Last year, this theme was based on women and children in carceral settings, where we visited the William A. Pratt School, Reform School, and we visited with the young ladies and the administration.
The moment, a full circle one for Justice Denise Lewis-Johnson.
It's rather emotional today. I had the privilege of going to Oaksfield Primary, as it then was called, from grades 1 to 3. And so it was a bit of coming home. It's coming home to the neighborhood that groomed the person that I am today. I went to church in this neighborhood, I lived in this neighborhood, and I came to school. And so to look into the eyes of the young ladies here today, I see myself.
Justice Johnson also emphasizing it's critical those accomplished inspire youth so that they too can achieve their dreams. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
A pretty good story there, Danielle. That does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 95th Terrace, Centerville, and now located in the Lucaya Shopping Center of Freeport, Grand Bahama.
Shake up to the rhythms and sounds of the Bahamas at the 19th Annual Bahamian Music and Heritage Festival. This year's festival is said to be an ultimate showcase of Bahamian culture, fit for the entire family.
So the 19th Annual Bahamian Music and Heritage Festival, under the theme Bahamian Rhythms and Flavors, is going to take place this weekend, March 14th and 15th in beautiful Georgetown, Exuma. So we have an amazing entertainment lineup. Friday and Saturday night, the Pond Band is going to back everybody. But get this, Friday, we've got Papa Carly, Dimitri, Iron Store, Shine, 242, Mr. Ray Can Scrape himself, Bloody, and of course, you can't have any festival without D-Mac. And then if that was not enough, Saturday, we got Basil Smith, Jammin' Ramin, Nishi Ellis, and you know, everybody loves KB. There's going to be some surprises, lots of excitement. And doors, or the gate opens at 12 every day on the 14th and 15th. Come in, check out the culinary delights. Our visitors and locals are going to have an exciting time. They can participate in the fire dancing, you know, the Bahamian games, the kids' corner. I know sometimes it's hard to leave the kids at home. There's a fabulous kids' corner. They'll have a great time. So admission to get in on both days is $5. You know, that's the steal. Like, you can't beat that for all of the fun, all of the excitement. I just want to tell everybody, come on down. It's March 14th and 15th in Georgetown, Exuma.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Joshua Robbins, and this is Tourism Today.
Minister Clay Sweeting says it's a start of Local Government Month. Details straight ahead.
Plus, Anne-Marie Davis was at CC Sweeting today helping students celebrate Commonwealth Day.
More veggies on the way as the Minister of Agriculture donates to yet another school. Stay close for that.
And coming up in sports, young golfers tee off at BGF Junior Nationals.
Bahamas Tonight Access Now starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Access Now. Well, I told you I had a secret that was moving. Tonight, we reveal it in the flesh. Introducing journalist Marlena Leonard, my co-anchor. Marlena, welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now.
Thank you so much.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are.
Well, like you said, I'm a journalist. I am fresh from another network, but I'm also a screenwriter, an actress with a passion for animals, especially the ones at the Bahamas Humane Society. But that's just a little taste for now.
Okay, great. Let's dive right into the news, shall we? The month of Local Government Month by official proclamation, festivities marking these observances began today with the reading of the proclamation followed by the raising of the flag. There's actually a lot of excitement building towards next year, which will mark the 13th year since the enactment of local government. But in its 29th year, Minister with responsibilities for local government, Clay Sweeting, says there is much to be proud of.
You know, local government stands as a cornerstone of our democracy. It amplifies the voices of our communities, and most of all, it champions their causes. So by decentralizing authority, we've created a system where active civic engagement, where citizens on these family islands could really play a vital role in shaping the decisions that directly impact their lives.
Minister Sweeting also talked about some of the events being held in observance of Local Government Month.
You'll see throughout the country, you'll have church services to mark Local Government Month. You'll also see activities, get-togethers where local councils, administrators to do that throughout the country. And you know, in some communities, they do small projects to commemorate it as well.
Today is Commonwealth Day, and across the globe, from Africa to Asia to Europe to Australia, and right here in the Bahamas, observances are being held to commemorate this day. Our Corval Pryfram attended a special ceremony at C.C. Sweeting Senior High School, where that school community really got into the spirit of the day.
At C.C. Sweeting Senior High School this Commonwealth Day, school principal Ricardo Patterson read the King's Commonwealth message.
As we mark this Commonwealth Day together, there is no more important task than to restore the disrupted harmony of our entire planet. For the sake of our younger generations' threatened future, I can only hope that the Commonwealth will continue its vital work to restore that harmony.
56 nations representing some 2.4 billion people scattered across the globe make up this Commonwealth community. More than 60% of them young people. Therefore, she wove the theme of this year's celebrations, Together We Thrive, into her message to Cobra Nation. Wife of the Prime Minister, Anne-Marie Davis, reminded these youngsters of the important role they play in making this global body even stronger.
You hold the key to the future. Your energy, your ideas, and your innovation will be the driving force to determine how the Commonwealth and the world beyond it develops. That's very, very important to remember. These kisses and all that is mine. Nobody wants me. Nobody wants me. And nobody's mine.
And so the special ceremony tomorrow, Commonwealth Day here at C.C. Sweeting, ending with the musical sounds of Funky D. It is also a special day for us to welcome on board our Marlena Leonard as she joins Access Now. You have never been, Marlena, in more capable hands than those of LaDawn. We are wishing you both very well as we start this new and exciting chapter. For the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now, I'm Corval Pryfram.
Thanks a lot for that, Corval. Well, Junkanoo is a huge part of our national culture, and being able to perform outside the Bahamas is an experience of a lifetime. And some of our students will soon have the opportunity to showcase Junkanoo in Savannah, Georgia. West Calix Forbes has a story.
For 21 years, the Junkanoo group Barabbas and the Tribe has brought the vibrant energy, pulsating rhythm, and dazzling costumes of our Bahamian culture to Savannah, Georgia for St. Patrick's Day celebration.
People are already calling me and they're excited, and all the different restaurants are calling me, and the church members are calling me, want to know when we come in, and they're ready to greet us and treat us.
But this year, the tradition took a new and exciting turn. Thanks to a suggestion from Paul Smith, group leader Barabbas decided to expand the experience, inviting students from public schools who have an interest in Junkanoo to join the trip.
The idea came that we would have come together instead of carrying the regular Junkanooers, that we would now pick students from all of the schools that participated in the Junior Junkanoo Parade and give them an opportunity internationally. And going forward, this will be an every year thing. And I think in all essence, once those children have that experience, it would give them an opportunity to keep their police record clean, to realize that Junkanoo Group is just not here in Nassau, but they can sell themselves aboard.
15, 16, this is their last year in school, and we have C.H. Reeve, we have C.B. Bethel, we have C.C. Sweeten, Aaron Bailey, one Sadira. She has one from, I think, junior high school. I can't remember exactly which one, but everybody knows Sadira Smilance, and she's going with me, and her husband is going with me. So they is great chaperones, and they great ambassadors for the country. So we're going to have a great time, and we just want these children to experience something different.
Some students who have previously traveled with Barabbas and the tribe expressed their excitement about seeing more young people get involved.
It was definitely a new experience for me. Definitely being around Junkanoo at first was like, this is a lot. But once I learned the culture behind it and I experienced it more for myself, it became a lot more fun.
I like to see a bit more opportunities for them. Like, if it's an opportunity to make money or an opportunity to go somewhere and experience something new, like what this trip is, just more opportunities.
As Barabbas and the tribe continue its long-lasting tradition in Savannah, this year marks the beginning of a new era, one that embraces the new generation of Junkanooers. Junkanoo continues to break barriers, unite communities, and showcase the spirit of the Bahamas worldwide. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Wes Calix Forbes.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Wes. Well, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture Sports Division hosted its Women in Sports Symposium recently, featuring a multitude of panelists and attendees. Our Matea Cunningham has the details.
I ran, and I actually finished second in that race. Wow. I don't even know how I did that.
Little girls now started saying, more than I want to go to Carifta, I want to medal at Carifta, it was I want to qualify for the Olympics.
So we knew we were good, but we didn't know how good we was until we traveled abroad.
Words said by the female pioneers who've contributed to Bahamian women having a seat at the international athletics table. 1984 marks the year a Bahamian woman participated in the Olympics for the first time. Today, we now have thousands of Bahamian women aspiring to take their athletic careers internationally. I asked a few attending the event which sport they played and at which level.
My name is Sydney Clark. I'm representing women in tennis at the professional level.
My name is Letitia St. Fort, and I'm representing women in track and field at the high school level.
Hi, my name is Cara Hanna. I am a judo athlete, professional.
My name is Gabrielle Kemp. I am representing women in volleyball at the high school level.
I then spoke with both the Director of Sports, Ms. Kelsey Johnson-Sills, and the Honorable Leslie Miller-Bryce to gain a larger perspective on the event.
There's so many Bahamians who only get to see our athletes compete on the television, but to now rub shoulders with Pauline, to get to sit down and talk to Nakia, to sit down and talk to former Senator Isaac Dotson and also Kimberly Roll. These are some of the pioneers of the sports. We have so many great females, and unfortunately, we're outshined by the men, because their sport is always the electrifying sport. So today, we placed all of the females in the country on top.
Whatever it is that you do, whatever impact that you make, whatever field that you are in, women are out here and we are doing it to the best of our abilities. To you academic students, to you athletic students, just continue to do your best. Raise the standards, keep the level high, and just work hard. And that's my advice to them.
Bahamian women have done it again, pulled up a chair at the international table and proved they belong. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Matea Cunningham.
And still to come, Bahamas Association of Administrative Professionals are in the house. Stay close.
Take your mark! Get set!
Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin led the inaugural baton exchange of camaraderie to signify the start of the Government Secondary Schools Sports Association Track and Field Championships. Former Assistant Director of Education Keith Saunders, who spearheaded the Olympic-style torch run, ran the second leg of the relay.
Through this baton exchange, sports, of course, is the way to go. Sports is the way to unite, meet new friends, get the positive attitude going that we should share. They ought to share between each other. So some time ago, I was trying hard to get it going, and finally, I must say to E.O. Johnson, I must congratulate her for finally getting it going and moving. And to me, this is going to create a future of positive attitudes between students, between the schools, development of school spirit, and that's what this is all about.
The ceremonial relay was anchored by Education Officer Keisha Johnson, one of this year's organizers of the GSSSA Track and Field Championships.
Right now, we are actually commencing the 2025 31st Annual GSSSA Track and Field Competition. This is the commencement launch of the Baton of Camaraderie. It will go around to all of the schools over a 5-day period.
Competition begins on Wednesday, March 12th to Friday, March 14th, 2025 at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium.
Thank you, Mark. Get set. Go.
Johnny McIntosh for Ed Talk.
For more than 30 years, thousands have attended the annual Bahamas Bridal Show to enjoy a spectacular fashion show, fun and games, food and champagne, and $30,000 in prizes, including honeymoons. On Sunday, March 23rd at Grand Hyatt Baha Mar, come see the reason the Bahamas Bridal Show is the ultimate experience for weddings and special events. Show tickets, $75. Call 421-9783 or visit bahamasevents.net.
You're looking at a live shot of the cruise port. Welcome back. That shot is brought to you by our drone pilot, Neville Smith, but we can put some respect on that name and call him Mr. Smith, flying high out there tonight. Well, let's take a trip down to Bimini.
Tourists and residents alike will soon be enjoying a new international airport over in Bimini. The runway received some work recently, and the completion of this airport project is promised by the end of this year. That's some awesome news there. The government of the Bahamas is committed to refurbishing airports around our archipelago. Let's turn things over to Malena and our guests in studio. Malena?
Well, that's some good news for Bimini, of course, the gateway to the Bahamas. Well, with us tonight is the Bahamas Association of Administrative Professionals, and they're holding their annual spring educational seminar. We have with us the association president, Perky O'Brien, and Ways and Means chairperson, Wendy Ferguson, who is one of the presenters at the seminar. Ladies, welcome to Access Now.
Thank you.
So, can you just tell us a little bit about why is the seminar necessary?
With the change in technology, and we no longer use typewriters and word processors. Technology is changing continuously. So in order for administrative professionals to be on par and keep up with the ever-changing world, we must do educational seminars. This enhances their profession. It propels them forward. And so we find it necessary to do these seminars on a regular basis, which keeps the office professionals on par and up to date with the new technology.
So speaking of that new technology, can you tell us a little bit about what the theme is for this seminar and why you guys chose that theme?
Our theme is a focus on professional transformation. Transformation means change, and every day there's a change in the business world, in your life, and whatever. There's constant change. And so as we see our profession evolving and changing and moving forward, we have to keep abreast. We must keep abreast. And so we find these seminars essential and necessary.
Awesome. Now, Ms. Ferguson, you're one of the presenters. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're going to be presenting about and who some of the other presenters are?
I'm not one of the presenters, but however, we have Ms. Kishna Winters, one of our international speakers. She's a leadership consultant, author, and executive coach, and she'll be speaking on the DIVA method, savvy strategies to confidently succeed at work. Also, we have Dr. Alexandra Johnson, and she's a professional and personal transformation coach. And she'll be speaking on unlocking your potential, building mental resilience through professional transformation. And we'll also have Mr. Shivago Lang, the economic consultant, author, talk show host, former parliamentarian, and he'll be speaking on ethics in the workplace.
Amazing. This sounds like quite the roster of presenters and just a wealth of information people are going to get. So can you tell us where we would go to register and where and when it's going to be held?
Yes. The seminar will be held on Friday, the 21st of March, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., and it will be held at the Holy Trinity Activity Center in Stapleton Gardens. And you can contact our treasurer, Ms. Joyce Quant, at 448-0985, or our president, Mrs. O'Brien, at 323-4962 or 557-2515.
Awesome. Now, obviously, we just had International Women's Day over the weekend. We've got two successful businesswomen in front of me here. Do you have a message for young Bahamian women looking to succeed in their fields?
In this field, for those who are interested in the administrative field, you need to keep abreast. That is so important, very important, to keep abreast of what's going on in the world. Technology. You have to be cognizant of what your supervisor needs. You don't wait for them to tell you that they need something. You're supposed to be able to project that they need it and have it done. So keeping up with what goes on in the world would put you on par with the other administratives in your hemisphere and even beyond. So knowledge is the key. Knowledge is the key.
Keep ahead.
You've got to be ahead.
All right. Well, thank you very much, ladies. That's Perky O'Brien and Wendy Ferguson. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, and all the best with your seminar. Let's check in now with Total Sports to see what's on tap.
And dozens of young golfers tee off at the BGF Junior Nationals. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
With BGC's crystal clear mobile service, stay connected seamlessly, whether on land or at sea. Our reliable postpaid plans keep your loved ones closer, no matter where life takes you.
Get the most out every ride. Just watch your car perform with the best fuel inside. Fuel up with confidence in every mile. Get Ruby Surge Tech in your tank and drive with a smile. Watch your car perform with the future tech.
For hurricane season, we got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We love to brighten up for that big bad storm. For selling tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Before teens get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com. JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
Your Monday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. Dozens of the country's next wave of potential golf pros teeing off yesterday at the one and only Ocean Club, site of the 2025 Bahamas Golf Federation Junior Nationals. ZNS sports team was out on the greens and caught up with the winners after day 2. What's next for you?
Next is to win the Masters.
That was young Maximilian Demore, one of several division winners at yesterday's Bahamas Golf Federation Junior National Championships. The two-day event wrapping up on Sunday over at the one and only Ocean Club. The country's young golf talent on full display with intense competition across multiple divisions and even a few playoffs to decide the winners of several groups. A look at the final standings across the 36-hole groups. Girls 13U winner would go to Kaylee Rowe with a score of 169 over the 2 days. Boys 13U would go to the aforementioned Maximilian Demore, scoring 152. Girls 15U, the winner there, Haley Hall, shooting 157. Boys 15U, Zachary Christopher Joseph edging out Cardron Nixon in a playoff for first place in that division. Girls 18U would go to Lily Pisturzo, who would shoot a 165. Finally, a playoff in the boys 18U division, with both golfers tied at 150 at the end of competition. Aiden Garosp narrowly getting past Camden Forbes to repeat as national champion of that division. We caught up with a number of the winners after the award ceremony.
Today was tough, up and down, couldn't drop any putts. Today I started to drop more putts, but couldn't hold it together during the last hole, so had to go in a playoff.
It's good, but it could have been better. But, I tried my best, and I made the cut. So.
I played pretty good, yes. I made a few putts, but my putting just didn't want to go in on the last day, and it wasn't really just my fault. It just didn't want to go in. But I still tried to focus, and then I made some birdies, and it started to go well. So, yeah.
I just stayed confident, believed in myself, and did it.
I definitely think I could have played better, but I just focused to play safe shots to avoid big numbers, and it worked out.
Now with the BGF Nationals in the books, junior golf still center stage with the Inter-School Golf Championships getting underway today. We'll have more for you from that event in tomorrow's Sportscast. That's Milk Street Sports on this Monday. A check on weather when we return.
Fiber basketball fans, get ready to experience the NBA Finals live. You can enter an all-expense-paid trip to not one, but 2 NBA Finals games. It's simple. Just sign up for our live NBA League Pass or Infinite Sports X package by May 16th. Stay connected, enjoy blazing fast internet, and score your chance to witness the NBA action up close. Don't miss out. Visit livefiber.com and take your shot at NBA glory. Terms and conditions apply. It's good to be alive.
Whopper with cheese never tasted so good. 100% flame grilled beef, now juicier. With fresh ingredients as usual. And even fluffier buns. The Whopper with cheese. Bigger, better, tastier. Get a regular combo for only $9. Only at Burger King Nassau.
At Cartwright, our members know that there's a lot to smile about. They know that membership has its privileges. Guaranteed low pricing on every item, every time you shop. Each membership comes with 2 cards. That's one for you and a free card for a member of your household. Gold card holders earn an annual 2% rebate up to $500. Cartwright members get discounts at other participating businesses. So that's a lot to smile about. Whether it be clothing, appliances, home goods, or groceries, shop at Cartwright, where membership truly has its privileges.
It's time now for your Access weather forecast. We have a front boundary approaching the extreme northern Bahamas with some showers and thunderstorms, some of which are going to be heavy at times. That will continue to move towards the south and east, pushing through the capital sometime around midnight. And your boating forecast tonight, well, is brought to you by Live Business, where we bulk up your business. In the northwestern islands, southwest to west winds ahead of that front, very strong at 15 to 25 knots. They will be switching out of the northwest behind the front, maintaining that 15 to 25 knot speed. Wave height is very rough at 5 to 8 feet. Low tide, that will take place at 29 minutes past midnight. And for the central and southeastern parts of our country, the wind southeast to south, 12 to 18 knots with caution flags in place. And then tomorrow, Tuesday, for all areas, we'll have that northwesterly flow, initially 15 to 25 knots, falling off 15 to 20 knots in the afternoon. Wave heights will subside to 4 to 7 feet as well. High tide will occur at 6:49 in the morning with the low tide at 1:14 in the afternoon. And on Wednesday, for all areas, we have that clockwise rotation northeast at 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights 2 to 4 feet. High tide 7:33 in the morning, low at 1:54 in the afternoon. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they're brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Check. Yo, man. I thought that you and him were friends. I can't be.
International temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. LaDawn and Maria.
Thanks a lot, Basil. Some nice cool temperatures out there, Milena.
I see that. Beautiful weather indeed. Which brings us to our next point. Let's talk socials with Matea Cunningham.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Matea Cunningham, and you're watching Let's Talk Socials, the social segment where social media classes are in session. Today, we're talking about a certain high school that's been sharing a certain achievement all across our social platforms since last Friday. Yes, we're talking about the QC Comets. They won their first BAISS track and field win in 4 years, snuffing the win from right under their competitors, St. Augustine's College. For my family islanders and those who generally don't know what BAISS stands for, it's the Bahamas Association of Independent Secondary Schools. They host their annual BAISS championships where student athletes from various private schools in New Providence compete against each other in various sports. In the end, one school comes out on top in each sport. This year, QC took the track and field gold. Check this out. Well, I'd say the QC Comets are pretty satisfied with their win. It's awesome to see social media pushing these digital moments of school pride, athleticism, and sportsmanship. What are your opinions and thoughts? Let us know in the comments if you're watching on the live stream. I'm Matea, and this has been Let's Talk Socials.
Well, that does it for Access Now. Milena, how did your first day go?
Well, you know, some growing pains, but I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I can't wait for tomorrow.
Great, and with that, we're out of here. Time's up for us.
Well, stay tuned for the rundown with Clint Watson. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
The thought of colon cancer never really crossed my mind until 2019, when a very good friend of mine was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. I was shocked. Everybody was shocked because he was a picture of perfect health. He was young, athletic, successful, and full of life. Many of us are still in disbelief. I started to question my own health, because if it happened to him, surely it could happen to me. Then came the fear, the anxiety, and everything else in between. Facing your own mortality is very sobering. But for me, I decided right then to have a colonoscopy, and I'm glad I did.
Colon cancer is the third most common cancer diagnosed in Bahamian men and women. Fortunately, almost all colon cancers are preventable. A colonoscopy or some other appropriate form of colon cancer screening is recommended for everyone over the age of 45. During a colonoscopy, we can detect and remove colon polyps that may grow and later become colon cancers. Don't wait until you develop symptoms, such as blood in your stool, abdominal pain, a significant change in your bowel habits, or unintentional weight loss. These may all be indications of a severe problem that requires immediate attention. If you're over the age of 45 or have any of those symptoms, talk to your doctor about the benefits of colon cancer screening today.
Coming soon to the ZNS television network.
Welcome to What's Trending. Join me, Jiminita Swain.
And me, The Bahama Beauty, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m.
Only on the ZNS Network.
Are you ready for the hardest sports show on the market? It's called The Timeout, Sundays on the ZNS Television Network. In our first show, 4 decades of sports in the country.
As a disabled person, a lot of times we feel like it's just us. And I recognize, even through my bone cancer journey and receiving an amputation, that it was time to join the community around me. So I started to dive into sports, adaptive sports, Paralympic development. So that's how I got into para archery. You know the lens that you have in yourself on your own value. How am I going to be productive? How am I going to leave a mark or do an impact in your community? You're going to have to decide that even in showing up, you're celebrating your wins, but also acknowledging and being accountable for the times that you did not do what you needed to do, but it's never a loss, it's a learn. And so actually helps us to focus on that, focus on ourselves and focus on our actions. Crime-free looks like me.
Do your part. Join the movement to a safer Bahamas.
We've heard you. We know you're tired of the reruns. We're coming back, bigger and better, on The Legal Brief. I'm your host, Ramona Farquharson. Stay tuned.
The thought of colon cancer never really crossed my mind until 2019, when a very good friend of mine was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. I was shocked. Everybody was shocked, because he was a picture of perfect health. He was young, athletic, successful, and full of life. Many of us are still in disbelief. I started to question my own health because of...
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS. The Rundown is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show. It's great to have you with us along for another week, an exciting week planned for you. Well, we start with the mid-year budget. Not long from now, we'll hear what senators make of the mid-year budget now that it's cleared the House of Assembly, alongside several resolutions. Now, as expected, wrapping up the debate, the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, who dismissed talk of an illusion and instead attributed the progress his government has made 6 months into determination and hard work. That's what he said, made it all happen. Here's Fern Curry with the details.
Minister of Finance, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, touting the government's progress for the first half of the fiscal year in the House of Assembly Monday. He cited fiscal discipline and strategic planning as pivotal to a revived domestic economy and other gains.
When you see an economy that is growing, when you see jobs returning, when you see record investment flowing into this country, you do not need to be told that what success looks like. It is happening. It is real. And it is only possible because of the faith, the perseverance, and the sheer resilience of the Bahamian people.
The nation's leader noted that the facts speak for themselves despite criticism from the opposition. His comments prompting opposition leader Michael Pintard to rise to his feet on a point of order.
International agencies, investors, and economists point to the Bahamas as a country on the rise.
That's right.
They cover their ears. Yep. Madam Speaker, they told us the economy will not recover. It has. Yes. They told us we could not attract investment. We have. They told us unemployment would not fall. It has. They told us we would not get spending under control. That's right. We did. We did that. They told us that government revenues would collapse. They have strengthened. Do you accept that the economy has recovered?
Yes. Madam Speaker, when the economy reopened, it reopened, Madam Speaker, with a 14, then 10% economic growth rate. And then it returned to pre-pandemic numbers. So to answer the Prime Minister, yes, once an economy reopens, you expect an increase.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
All right, there you have it. The budget now passed. It always gets aggressive during budget period because there's a time to go back and forth over who's succeeding and who's failing, particularly when you're a year out on some months from elections. Then, of course, everybody's trying to put their case forward as to who's the better to serve. The Prime Minister, of course, I think would have said it quite clearly. The facts are there to determine whether or not the government is successful or not. He believes that his term in office so far has been successful. And that they're turning the corner and doing some things. The opposition will, of course, question that as to whether that's authentic or whether that growth is as a result of this administration or whether the growth was, I guess, able to happen on the precipice of the former administration. At the end of the day, Bahamians will decide based on how they feel the economy is going right now, how they feel their life is going right now, will determine whether or not this administration is indeed on the right track or not. At the end of the day, I always tell people don't worry about the rhetoric in Parliament because sometimes it gets very theatrical and a lot of drama. You have to judge based on how things are impacting you, how they're impacting the community you live in, how they're impacting your nation, and you make the decision based on that. Well, we can also tell you tonight that Agriculture and Marine Resources Minister, the Honorable Jomo Campbell, is responding to the opposition's criticism about the government's Golden Yoke program. The program launched back in 2023 and was touted to improve food security, lower import costs, assist farmers, and increase employment opportunities while also attaining self-sufficiency in egg production. However, since that much talked about groundbreaking, the project has been delayed because of several external factors. Well, Minister Campbell roundly rejected opposition leader Michael Pintard's assertion that the government has squandered the more than $16 million allocated for the program.
The Golden Yoke project is by no means exhausted, not even a quarter of that. And so we will be updating the Bahamian public in a very short order, as a matter of fact, within the next 24 hours, completely and thoroughly on the present scope and update as to where we are with the project.
Minister Campbell also maintains food security is everybody's business, should not be used to play politics.
At this present time, we have 10,000 chicks who the colleagues and members of the press were able to see and feel and hold in their very own hands. And so we ask persons, especially in positions of high esteem and responsibility, who have public trust, to be responsible with the public trust and not to use it for political gain, because food security should not be a political football. It impacts all of us. I've never seen a chicken wearing party colors, and you know, we don't intend to politicize this. It's here for the benefit of all, even for the inmates at the Bahamas Department of Corrections.
Here right now, we're going to get a closer, we're going to have a closer discussion on this Golden Yoke program. My guest tonight is a farmer, and we'll talk more about how they feel. And then, of course, tomorrow, the minister, as you heard him talk about, will give a full account. He and his team will be here on the rundown tomorrow night to give a full account of this Golden Yoke program and to talk more in detail about it. So tonight and tomorrow night, we're going to turn our focus to the Golden Yoke program and try and get an understanding of it. You know, at the end of the day, I want to talk about this ag situation because we've been talking about it. You know, let me say this gingerly, because we complain about things, we get things, and we still complain about things. We complain about the price of eggs. There's a solution to the egg problem. The prices are back down due to a new supplier. And then we complain about whether the eggs are good, whether the eggs are contaminated, whether it's a legit deal. And I've said before to people, the most difficult population to please is the Bahamian population, because we complain about something, and when it's fixed, and then we're still skeptical. The reality is, people have been buying the eggs, they're enjoying them. They're a little yellow on the inside of the yolk. They're not what we're used to seeing, that pale yellow. They're real yellow yolk, and I've been told that's because they're natural and authentic, but I mean, I've tried it. I don't have a problem. Tastes good to me. I haven't had any side effects, so I'm happy. Not yet. Somebody says not yet, but hey, I think at the end of the day, if you ask for something and something is given to you, then it's up to you to determine whether or not it's good quality. Would I like to buy local eggs? Yes. Would I like to support local farmers? Yes. Do I believe that we should be purchasing eggs locally? Absolutely. And we need to find a way to make sure that happens. Okay, we're going to talk tonight on several national stories of interest. The first one we're going to go to tonight, we have the head of the Student Government Association of the University of the Bahamas. You remember they recently had a dilemma with student funding from the government, and we'll talk to a female farmer also after that story, who talks about the importance of food security and why we need to be able to do what we need to do to secure ourselves when it comes to feeding ourselves. Two important topics, and we're going to get started with the rundown on those topics when we come back after the break. Stay close.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been living in Nassau Village for more than 19 years, and to see a project like this bring great joy and pride to me.
This state-of-the-art multi-purpose community center will serve as a crime-fighting initiative in the community. Also help with the education of our kids in this community and a hurricane shelter.
Yeah, and it also shows what we as Bahamians can achieve when we work hand in hand with each other.
We have the technical know-how, and we can pretty much deliver on any project here in the Bahamas or in the world.
Bahamas President of the Bahamian Company, they prove that they believe in Bahamians.
Based on the outcome of this project, I don't think they're disappointed in giving a small person an opportunity to do a job such as this.
The more opportunity they get, the more opportunity we will get.
If you look around and see the work done so far, it just shows what we as Bahamians can do.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
Welcome back. Good evening to all of you who are watching us and joining us, whether you're in the Lion's Den on Facebook or on YouTube, or watching us from around the region or the world on your various platforms. And those of you here at home, it's always a pleasure to have you joining us in the show. Well, the University of the Bahamas students recently pleaded with the government to meet its commitment of financial assistance. Fed up with chronic delays to the government's tertiary program grant, the students took a more public and vocal approach. We got this story here from Caldwell Pyfrom on the students' concern and the government's response to them. Take a look.
UB Student Government Association taking the unusual step of writing directly to the government because once again it says students' lives are being adversely impacted, their education thrown in limbo. Delays in getting critical funds for supplies, academic resources, and accommodations, funds guaranteed under the government's tertiary grant program, have not been dispersed. SGA President Shante Deal says students, particularly those in nursing and teaching programs, those most impacted, have been waiting on these funds since last semester, though this problem, she insists, has existed long before then.
These student aids include the teachers' grant, the nurses' grant, as well as the accommodations grant. So all of these students who fall under these various grants or stipends, they have been affected by these delayed payments.
In their letter, the students asked the government four crucial questions. Has it failed to uphold its financial obligations to the university, thereby placing the students in limbo? Has it allocated the funds needed to support the grant to other areas? What priority does it place on higher education? And how does this align with the institution's founding vision? Well, Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin hadn't yet read the students' letter when she spoke to reporters Wednesday morning, but she was nonetheless sympathetic to their plight and promised swift action.
But we have to work out a methodology that would allow for more efficient payment, and so we don't end up in this situation where students are there being stressed out on the issue of this subvention to their studies.
The minister, as you heard us say there, says this matter is most regrettable. However, both sides seem genuinely committed to resolving the situation both amicably and expeditiously. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pfeiffer.
Thank you, Corvell. Well, we've got an update on this story from UB Student Government Association Senate Speaker Isaac Barr, who joins me live in studio tonight. Good evening. Welcome to the Rundown. Good to have you.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, so we understand the students finally got their funding from the government. Does that mean all is well now?
No, that does not mean all is well. Our initial issue within the payments being made was the fact that there was a delay in the payments being made. And because of that delay, we all know that the grant covers the accommodation grant for students as well as the teaching and nursing stipend. The issue is that because there is a delay in the payments, students, for example, under the accommodation grant, which is supposed to give the students a certain amount of money to be able to pay rent for landlords, is being delayed, as well as the fact that the nursing and teacher stipend that is also supposed to be submitted monthly to be distributed to both nursing and teaching students are also imposing an issue in not being paid on time.
Are those now being sorted out?
Yes, they are being sorted out, and the payments so far have been paid up to date.
Okay, so it's come up to date?
Yes, it has.
All right. So is this the first time it's been delayed?
No, it is not. This has been a recurring issue from almost the time as if when the payments and the grant program was established within the university, but it has become recently detrimental beginning in the fall 2024 academic term to the spring 2025 term presently.
Has there been any explanation given as to why the payments are constantly being late?
As the Student Government Association, that is why we put out this memorandum to, I guess, put out a statement to find out exactly why. We're not sure. We have been given multiple, I guess, comments and statements from the University of the Bahamas Relations Department and just giving us updates on it and telling us and letting us know that the payments will be submitted on several dates. They have done a wonderful job communicating that to us, but our question is, why is there a constant delay?
And have you had a meeting with government? I know the university has been keeping you updated,
yes.
But have there been any communication with the students as to, listen, this is what is going on, this is what we're trying to work to fix, or is it just, you know, we can get it sorted out, relax?
It's just we'll get it sorted out, relax.
That's unfortunate. And I want you to, I know you started talking about it, but how is this impacting student life?
So, like I would have mentioned earlier, firstly, the government tertiary grant covers both the accommodation grant as well as the teaching and nursing stipend that the government opted to fund the students with. So the accommodation grant gives the students a certain amount of money to be able to submit to landlords for payments for rent. It's supposed to aid and assist them with that.
Are these mostly Family Island students?
These are Family Island international students, yes.
Who are looking to make sure they have some place to stay?
Yes. And within making those payments, I guess, to the landlords, it ensures that the students have somewhere to stay while they come here over to Nassau to pursuing their degree programs at the university.
All right, see, you know, I'm glad you gave me this update because if it is important that national institutions, via government, adhere to and hold up to the level of the obligation because it impacts people's lives. And it shouldn't be seen as if, listen, we're doing you a favor, people are paying us for you relax. No, because people are covered other options. This is designed to ensure that we keep our talent, first of all, here at home. This is designed to ensure that our brightest and strongest minds can focus on education, not have to worry about how they're going to live. This is designed to ensure that we get better, productive citizens in the country and in the workforce. So it's not the government doing a favor to the students. It is the government ensuring that it has right, productive people entering the workplace that can carry on the legacies that are being left in these institutions. And that means you have to honor your commitment and honor it on time. Now, anybody who works in a public service understands that sometimes government expects things to take place, and the people expected to make sure it happens are the ones dropping the ball. And sometimes the public service, unfortunately, runs very loosely, and there are people in the public service that don't understand the importance of the job they do, and because it becomes so much of a routine, they figured whenever I get it done, I get it done. And I'm going to talk about that later this week, right? I'm going to tell you about my experience in the court and the legal system and with the police. And I'll tell you about an encounter that I experienced over the weekend and this week that allowed me to see the inner workings of our public service, and it is appalling. It is appalling. I'm going to talk about that on a different show. But I'm glad you brought this up because, again, if this is something that's supposed to be in place, there are people who are supposed to ensure that it happens on time. It is unacceptable for students to have to go on national TV and go out to the cameras to cry for help on something that's supposed to be entitled to them. Because that same thing, that same program is going to come around during the campaign and be touted. It's going to be used in conventions and say, this is what we did for the young people of the Bahamas. So if that's what you're going to tout, you got to make sure that the young people of the Bahamas are getting on time what you promised, since you're going to tout the program. How do students feel who have been impacted by this? Have you spoken to students? What is their demeanor? How do they feel?
Like I said, there are a lot of students that now are unable to pay their rent and are now being evicted out of their units.
There are people being evicted?
Yes, there are. As well as, like I would have mentioned, the nursing and teaching stipend. It's now causing the teachers and nurses that need to buy, I guess, things that help them along with the program. Yeah, the supplies as well. So they're not being able to get that funding, and now it has to be done out of pocket. And another thing that a lot of individuals don't realize is there are requirements that the students have to fulfill to be on these programs. So it's more or less that the students are fulfilling their endeavor and their partnership with the university.
In other words, they're holding up their part of the bargain, and somebody ain't holding up their part of the bargain.
Sir.
What are some of the criteria?
So you have to uphold a 2.0 GPA straightforward with a C average, as well as having to be of a Bahamian descent, being a Bahamian citizen. And yes, I believe those are the minimum requirements.
So it's stuff that naturally come with being enrolled in the program.
Pretty much, yes.
So what's the next move now for the student body? Where are you now? Are you hoping that it just clarifies and gets back on track, or is there a course of action?
We are more or less hoping that it is addressed in this way, but the Student Government Association has already opted to bring back together our board members to decide another way in which we should address this issue if it is not addressed in a timely manner as it has been presented in our memorandum.
Have you spoken to the minister? Because she's a woman of action. She ought to be able to get it done for you. Have you spoken to the minister yet?
No, we have not.
Y'all being kind. Y'all being nice. Y'all allowing the university to handle it. Listen, go to see Minister Hannah Martin. I promise you she will give you an answer, and she will find out what the problem is and get to the bottom of it. Sometimes these institutions are only sitting ducks. Sitting ducks. And that's my advice to you. Go and see the minister and get some resolution on why it's taking so long, and so get some reassurance that they're going to work this out. Otherwise, you'll be here every quarter or whatever. How often do you get these stipends?
Every quarter, yes.
Every quarter you'll be here saying it's late again, it's late again. There has to be better accountability. And sometimes there are people who are falling down on the job and people don't know they're falling down. So my advice to you would be to go and talk directly to the head and get some resolution on the matter. Has UB been responsive with this? I know you're saying they've been nice, but have they been responsive in getting answers for you?
The university has done a great job in communicating their updates with us, but as...
You're going to have a joke because you're a student there. You don't get kicked out. You have challenges at the university, don't you? Okay, so
you're not having challenges.
You're not having challenges at the university. You're making sure you're not having challenges at the university. You're not having challenges.
My response is the university is in our favor, not responsible for the government.
So they just it's filtered through them.
It's filtered through them, yes. All of the funds that they receive are a greater portion is fully funded by the government of the Bahamas.
So then my suggestion again is go to the powers that be in government and get your answer. And I hope things work out. How many students are impacted by this?
There's thousands of students, well over about 2,000 to 3,000 students from International and Family Island, all gathered together.
Wow. Are the stipends different, or is it the same amount straight across?
It's the same amount straight across.
And what is that amount?
500.
500 every 3 months?
Every month. Every month.
Every month?
Yes, sir.
So when you get it once a quarter, that's $1,500?
Yes, sir, pretty much.
And that normally goes towards rent?
Rent as well. So rent would be for the Family Island students of any degree program, you would get that. And then with regards to the teachers and nursing stipend, you have to be a teacher and a nursing student to get that 500.
And that goes towards whatever you needed to go towards for your education. All right, well, hopefully things are sorted out now. I'm glad you said it's paid up to date. And so how far behind were they?
They were 2 months behind.
They were 2 months, so it wasn't a full quarter then?
With regard to the nursing and teacher stipend, it was a full quarter, but the accommodations was more or less being paid a bit quicker.
Okay.
But so far it has been paid up to date, all 3 of the grants.
That's some good news. Again, talk to the minister and get some resolution. Thank you, sir, for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Stay with us. When we come back, we're going to turn our attention to farming, food, self-sufficiency, golden yoke. We're going to talk to someone who wants to really speak out on this issue. You're watching The Rundown. We're back right after this. Stay close.
Today, we had the culmination of the Women Entrepreneurs Initiative in a press conference. We were here to celebrate 83 women who were awarded grant funding up to $10,000 each. Those 83 recipients totaling a grant funding over $600,000 for their concept, their business, whether it is starting or it is expanding. And so we've had recipients across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and many of the Family Islands. And so we were excited to celebrate them. We were honored to have members of our SBDC team, members of the board, particularly and most special honored guest, Mrs. Anne-Marie Davis, who made sure that it was a priority within her schedule to celebrate with us and all of the grant recipients here today.
To learn more about the Women Entrepreneurs Initiative, visit our website or contact us at 461-7232. And remember, empowered women empower women.
Planning the execution of a newscast is serious business. From the assignment to the concept of the story, everything has to be precise, on point, always. The Bahamas Tonight, the national report, is your trusted news service. We get it right the first time. Our preparation for you each night is done with care, knowing that our voices will reach you on 700 islands and keys with unquestionable accuracy. It gives me great pleasure each night to say,
welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the national report. I'm your national anchor, Mukesh Lapinder.
Welcome back to The Rundown. We're changing tone a bit and talking a little bit more, something that people have been talking about in the media. Now, her face may be familiar to you. She's well known in the political circles as the former head of the Free National Movement Women's Branch Association, actually, Women's Association. And of course, she's a former candidate as well. She ran independently, member of the Free National Movement again. And tonight she's speaking, though, as an agriculture advocate. Karen Shepherd is head of the Bahamas Agro Entrepreneurs Group, and we'll talk about food security tonight. Welcome to the show. It's good to have you with us.
Thank you, Clint, for inviting me. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. You released a statement last week, and it caught my attention when I read it. I heard so much passion in it. I want you to go ahead and talk to us a little bit about that statement so the public can hear where your heart is, and then we'll get into our conversation.
Wonderful. I appreciate this. Mm-hmm. You know, for me, farming has become a second passion for me. And I have been agitating for the farmers for a number of years, and I would have what I call a righteous anger. The righteous anger in that there's so much that we can do in this country that the farmers are not being allowed to do. And when I use the word allowed to do, meaning that they don't have the resources or the backing, the support from the government to be able to push them in the direction that they need to go in. And when I looked at our numbers, Clint, and on vegetables alone, we import $78 million worth of food. Wow. In vegetables alone.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, okay? And so for the Golden Yoke program, we all attended the ceremony, and we were looking forward to it, and I expressed my sentiments, and I had indicated that the Golden Yoke is a fantastic program 2 years ago. And I was looking forward for it to come to fruition and be able to assist our farmers in escalating their product to another level. And so for me, 2 years later, I went to the same exact site where groundbreaking took place. Shovels were used. Not only that, they had a big grandiose affair indicating that this is where we're going to have the Golden Yoke. Well, me being inquisitive and a farmer and knowing what's happening, I had to go drive out there 2 weeks ago at the same site. And at the same site, it's as barren could be, okay? So when I hear the minister today indicating that they have 10,000 chickens available, okay. And if we work the numbers based on what they're saying, you're looking, some saying 15 million, some saying 16 million, okay, fine. We'll use the lower number just for comfort, all right? So that leaves us with what? 15 million minus the 30,000 leaves us with 15,570,000. And if we add in the $400,000, which was supposed to be for the feed mill, okay, where are we? No feed mill, no chickens, no grow houses, and the feed mill that exists now creates feed that is not as nutritious as should be for the animals. And so the righteous anger that I have with regards to agriculture not only pertains specifically to the Golden Yoke, but specifically to agriculture on the whole. The dynamics, the veins in which we have the opportunity to increase our productivity in agriculture is vast. It's not limited to just going out in the field. There's the supply chain that we need to look at. We have the marketing that needs to be promoted. And so there's so much avenues that agriculture needs to be, I should say we should press the reset button on agriculture.
So let me ask you, because agriculture, we've been talking about this for decades now.
We have.
About food security, and it seems as if consecutive administrations are challenged. And I don't want to say challenge, it's not an overnight thing.
No.
It takes time to develop a sector that can now begin to feed a nation. That don't happen overnight.
No.
And I believe every administration has made some level of success in getting closer to that. So what I'm I guess asking is, what are the missing gaps? What are we missing? Why it's taking a bit longer? Or does it just take this long? Because consecutive administrations have been challenged. This administration is trying to implement its way and do some things. The previous administration on agriculture under Michael Pintard tried to do some things, but still couldn't get it all done. The previous administration before that, the same thing, the Alpha Grade, same thing. What is the challenge?
Well, the challenge is that one of the main challenges is the resources. That's one of the main challenges. Secondly, the support. Okay, the farmers actually need the support. I understand the government has the land that they give to people who would like to farm. We understand that. However, when you give someone 2 acres, 5 acres, 10 acres, and it's like dropping them out in the middle of the ocean and say you swim or you drown, there's no support system for them to get to a place where they're able to have traction on the road, per se, and then they're able to increase, okay? We find that in the numerous administrations that we've had, we've approached all administrations, okay? And we've expressed our desires for us to be able to elevate the agriculture sector. We get lip service. Yes, we will do it. Yes, we'll do it. It never happens. So it never gets to a point where the agriculture sector actually gets real traction. Then, to counteract that, because we're in a hurricane belt, we have hurricanes that then knocks the farmers back off their feet.
So that's what I wanted to ask, because we've been in a period now where we've not had hurricanes for several years. So it's been a really good period for farmers to be able to get back on track. So my question then is, haven't consecutive administrations made available to farmers access to funding to be able to get their businesses and their farming on the right track? So I hear you saying that, you know, we need support, but there's SPDC who's put in place funding so that farmers can have access. There are other grants, there are other programs where farmers can access to get farming. My question is, and I don't want to say this without sounding in a certain tone, but how much does it take to get a farmer up and running and operating? And at what point does it bear the responsibility on the farmer to successfully run the business side of it? Because you have a lot of farmers who know how to get it done, but they don't have the business side of it, which is where the challenge lies.
That is one of the challenges for farmers, and I do admit and I do acknowledge that with the ministers. And I say to them, yes, we have farmers who farm. However, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to the actual books of the farming, of the farmer, then that becomes a slight challenge. But getting back to SPDC, SPDC has a program in place. However, we have found out, and we have even mentioned this to SPC, you need to know who the actual farmers are and assist the actual farmers.
Don't they have to come forward? Don't they have to come forward, though? I mean, we're talking about assistance, right? And again, I say it, we have to begin to move. Move forward. Yes. We can't sit there and say, nobody come to me, nobody, I out here farming, nobody here for nobody.
SBC puts out their initiative. When they put their initiative out and the farmers submit their applications, and I can speak because I know this for a fact, the actual farmers' applications are the ones that are not acknowledged. We have found that there are persons who know when SBC is putting out certain initiatives. Once those initiatives are out, then they apply as a farmer, get a farmer's license, get their get their NIB on everything, and they submit. And then we find out that, hey, listen, how did this person get $50,000? How did this person get $150,000? And they're not in the farming community before this, okay? One of the persons I can speak to who has been successful, and I hope she doesn't mind me mentioning because I didn't speak to her before this, is Shatara out of Andros. She's producing strawberries. Strawberries. And for a woman, I applaud her for what she's doing.
We're growing strawberries in the Bahamas.
We are growing strawberries, and the most tastiest strawberries, believe it or not.
I did not know we were growing strawberries in the Bahamas.
We are. And she's doing a fantastic job of that.
Hats off to her.
Yes, hats off to her. And we are pleased that she has been assisted by SBCC. But the thing about it is the majority of the farmers, the local farmers who are hardworking, and then another thing, we have people in some of the ministries that say, oh, farmers aren't together, farmers, they say all these negative things when that is not true. That is absolute rubbish, okay? Farmers are together. They are working together. However, we could be sharpening our pencils a little bit more, but at the end of the day, we just needed a little bit more support to be able to get where we need to go.
The farmers who are in the market now, where are they taking their product?
Well, most of the persons actually sell from their farms because they're not on an extremely large scale to be able to take it. I know some persons out of Andros are supplying Super Value. I know that.
Really? So there are some people who are actually supplying the wholesalers, the retailers?
Yes, they're supplying Super Value with cabbage and stuff like that, okay? But it's not on a scale that we would like for it to be.
Right.
Okay, like I said to you initially, we import $78 million worth of vegetables.
If you could just get a portion of that amount.
Thank you. That's exactly, that's what I'm saying, okay? And then that's not even talking about chicken and that sort of stuff, how much chicken we import into this country. And as a result of all of these different imports that we have coming in this country, there's somewhere, somehow, the farmer should be able to benefit. You know, we've had a number, as I had mentioned before, the hurricanes that have knocked farmers down. The last worst one was Matthew in 2017. And so, I mean, we personally experienced the death of 1,500 chickens. You know, we had to, get rid of 1,500 chickens just after Matthew and judge other farmers who had chickens.
One storm, 1,500 chickens.
One storm, 1,500 chickens, okay? And then you also have the poor feed, where, especially in the last 6 months, where farmers had to euthanize their animals because they couldn't get the feed on time to be able to feed their animals. And so they were scrapping to try and keep them alive, and then we had to euthanize animals. So all of this has become very discouraging, but not to the point where the farmers are going to give up.
Wow.
And so, one of the things that we want to be able to say to the Bahamian public, and we thank them for being able and wanting to purchase local products because they want to be able to purchase.
And as Lord knows, it's healthier.
It is. And people are agitating, why aren't the farmers doing this? Why? But the farmers are limited to what they have, And, one of the sustainable goals is to be able to cut your food poverty by 25% by the year 2025.
That's correct.
And we're in 2025 right now. We are so far short of that till it's not funny.
I want to take a break. When we come back, I want to ask you, if we were to now say, okay, it's mandatory, we have to buy from local farmers, what needs to be put in place for these farmers to be able to supply Bahamians? Is it the machinery? Is it the shelf life? Is it the packing houses, which we've seen get rid of recently? I want to find out what we need to do so that we can all help ourselves. We'll talk with that after the break. We're back after this. Stay close.
After 30 years of banking, I've decided to take a leap of faith. I moved from banking into an untapped industry, which is manufacturing in the Bahamas. And now we are standing on 3 acres of land on which we're going to be putting the Bahamas' first end-to-end plastic recycling company, Eden Recycling and Manufacturing Company Limited. Eden has 2 arms, recycling and manufacturing.
This is groundbreaking for us. It's never been done before. It really makes a difference, not only in the Bahamas, but even around the world. This is not just a project that we're doing so that we can make a couple of dollars. We want to make sure that it benefits those who come after us. In future generations, we hope that this is a small vision, that they will take it and they'll expand on it. We can have the formula for what it means to do end-to-end recycling in the Bahamas in the region, and even if we have to export these ideas and thoughts and concepts even into the U.S.
Numbers move people to make decisions.
I don't know that there's been a time where we had a program asking this very sticky question. These are the women that are actually running the government.
Welcome back to the Rundown. My guest tonight is Karen Shepherd. She's representing farmers, talking about really the industry and what attention needs to be given towards farming. If we can talk about self-sufficiency and feeding ourselves, I agree. We have to take a greater approach to it. And I think it's going to require an administration that says, you know what? The budget is going to double for agriculture and mean it.
Yes.
Because we can't say we're going to provide support and then the budget is the same it's been for the last 25 years. Right. What you're going to provide support with. It takes money.
Yes.
And I think if we take a big considered approach to put the money there, we may see a dent. But we can't say we're going to make a dent and we're not putting any other resources behind it. It just makes no sense.
But this goes back to the $15 million that was allocated for the now scrambled eggs. I call it scrambled eggs because the 15
Good pun on words.
$16 million. Like I said, if we take out the 30...
Do you feel it was invested? Do you believe that money did go into the yokel?
I will have to see the documentation to verify where it went. And I'm sure Minister Campbell is going to explain that tomorrow.
We're going to ask.
Yes.
Because I believe if you put $50 million in anything, there should be something. Something.
Exactly. Okay.
If it went there, yeah.
So even if they had taken the $15 million, $16 million invested into the farmers, even in my group,
you get the work done yourself, right? You just sit back and let them get the work done.
We would have had $64,000 for each farmer, or if we had only used 50 farmers, we'd have had $320,000 for each farmer. Trust me. Those farmers would have gotten something done. You would have actually seen chickens on the ground.
How long does it take to produce an egg?
The eggs, they start, well, first when you get the chick goes up to a hen up to 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
Once after the 3 to 4 month period, then they go into process of then starting to lay eggs. And they
after only 3-4 months?
4 months, yeah. And then after that, they will lay eggs. They will lay an egg. Each hen will lay up to about 275 eggs per year.
275 eggs?
Yeah, 275 eggs per year. And then in the second year, their production drops to about 240, somewhere around there, 240, 220. And in the third year, it then also lessens, okay? So chickens are very valuable commodity at a very low cost, kind of speak. It's just that you need to maintain them. And so as I was indicating, if they had taken the monies and just invested it into the farmers who we have, the farmers would have had $64,000 each, or if we only used 50 farmers, they would have had $320,000 each. And trust me, we wouldn't have been importing eggs today.
We will be able to have eggs that people can purchase locally.
That's correct.
Enough eggs.
Well, it wouldn't have been enough, but we would put a dent in the importation of eggs, as they had initially indicated that this $16 million was proposed to do. Yeah. Okay? Trust me, we have farmers out there who are sincere in what they're doing. They want to get this done. And trust me, like I said, the 10,000 chicks that the minister is talking about, that's $30,000. That's $30,000, okay? So there's still a balance as to where's the rest of the money if he used that money to buy the chicks.
Right.
Okay?
So we were talking about farming and being able, if we were to say now, Bahamians have to be able to buy from local farmers, at least something.
Yes.
What does it take for local farmers to be able to supply if only a portion of our foods, for example, fruits and vegetables, which we say are the most expensive things to buy in the food stores. And we're talking about health and wellness right now. People need to eat healthy, and they can afford to buy from local farmers and cut the expense that's going on right now in retailers. They'll do it. What are some of the things that local farmers can provide, and what are some of the things they need in order to be able to provide those things for consumption?
Okay, well, I'll just use the basic kitchen items that most housewives use on a daily basis.
Not just housewives, because there's
No, I understand.
Some of us husbands cook too.
Yes. Husbands do cook. If we took onions, for instance, Andres grows some fantastic onions and tomatoes, okay? We import $6 million worth of onions, okay?
6 million.
6 million. Tomatoes, we import $5 million worth of tomatoes, okay? Bananas, 5 million. Plantains, 2 million. Potatoes, 9 million. Come on.
Wow.
$9 million worth of potatoes.
And these are vegetables and fruits that can be grown here.
These could be grown here. Yes, oranges. You remember we used to grow oranges many years ago?
Citrus Farm and Abacos used to be the place for it.
$4 million in oranges. You know, I'm just rounding these numbers are because they're actually over the 5 million.
Right.
Okay? And then, like I said, lettuce. We import $7 million worth of lettuce. And the thing about it is, we had approached the government and asked the government to supply the farmers with the grow houses so that we can produce the lettuce on a consistent basis to reduce the imports of lettuce, okay? So, you know, and one of the United Nations goals, as I said, is to eradicate poverty. We could get people interested in agriculture and let them know that, no, you don't have to be out in the field.
Right, because people say, I can't go in that sun all day and
Exactly.
farm.
Not everybody's designed for that. However, there's so many different veins, as I had indicated, that persons can go into. Like you asked about the business side of it. I'm a farmer and I may not want to do my books.
Right.
I will get somebody else to do my books, okay? I'm a farmer. After I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, go out in the hot sun, I don't want to market my product.
Right.
So we have somebody else to market the product, okay? And these are all different veins in which we can utilize people to come in. We don't have to import. We have people here who are well able and capable of doing these things.
This is what we've been saying for years.
Yes, it needs to happen. It needs to get to the point where it gets off that spinning wheel, and like I always say, move it from the back burner and bring it to the front burner. We need to get it to the front burner.
Like you said, the product is good.
We have excellent products here. Let me tell you, when it was COVID and all the countries were shut down and people were purchasing our local produce, trust me, they loved it. They couldn't wait for Saturday to come to the farmer's market to be able to purchase fresh vegetables, especially kale, baby kale, arugula, spinach,
All
cilantro.
of this being produced locally. Cilantro too?
Yes. We have one of the best celeries. And I'll tell you, there was this chef that came to our farm at one point. They wanted us to grow cilantro. But whatever he was cooking, he needed the actual roots of the cilantro and not the leaves. So he wanted us to produce just the roots for him to create this dish that he was doing because of the potency of the cilantro that we had. And so people, we just need to get in this place where we are moving from the back burner to the front burner. This is the new industry that needs to be tapped into. We're talking about 9, 10 million tourists coming to the country. Why aren't we feeding them? Why are we not supplying foods to the hotels? Why are we not saying, hey, listen, we're gonna supply cucumbers and lettuce and tomatoes, salads, just for a hamburger every day, you have all these fast food places who are importing their lettuce, tomatoes, but we could grow them here.
They will tell you that they can't get the volume they need. That's why I keep hearing all the time.
That is correct.
We can't get the volume here.
And that's where we have been trying to get the government
and that's where
to
the money comes in.
That's where the money comes in. You could invest $220 million here, $100 million there, but one of the main things that needs attention is being put on the side. And here it is, we're asking to be able to put a dent in our imports. How are you going to put a dent in your imports if you're not investing in your local market to be able to put a dent in the imports? You know, there's so much disparity with this coming from this way, coming from that way, but at the same time, in order for you to make money, you have to invest money. And yes, it's going to hurt in the first beginning, but at the end of the day, long term, you're looking 10, 15, 20 years down the road. What results will you have after you've invested what you're investing?
Right.
You know, and that's where we need to get to that point. You think when they come to build a hotel and they bring $3 billion, you think they're looking at the $3 billion, what they're spending now? No. They're looking at the end result. And that's the problem. Our people in certain places are not looking at the end result. They're only looking at, oh, you shouldn't have more than I should have, or you.
Is that?
But that is not the case.
Is that crazy mentality we have in this country?
We need to pump monies into our farmers. And I can tell you everybody could be perfect. Okay, because nobody in any organization, you have some people that will go contrary, yes, but the majority of them, you know how much farmers were hurt about the golden yoke? Because they knew they could do it, and they were producing chickens and eggs.
They just wanted that support.
They just need that support.